Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Learning the Ropes here on Cole TV. I'm XLJ the OG, joined by my other partner in crime, my other brother from another mother, one Michael J. Duplessis. How you doing, bro?
Good. How you doing, fam?
I'm doing great, brother. And have you recovered from that Drew McIntyre photo that was released a couple hours ago?
Between the Drew McIntyre photo and the photo of Kalen and Mercedes Moné dressed up as Bane and Green Ivy, it's an interesting day in pro wrestling.
Yes, it has. Well, we have got an amazing show for you here tonight as we are going to get you ready for the biggest event of the summer, Summerslam. We'll be coming to you next weekend from Cleveland, Ohio. And tonight we're going to take a look back at the rich history of SummerSlam and give you our Baker's Dozen, our top 13 favorite matches of all time from SummerSlam. But before we get to that, as we always do here on the show, we kick things off with a little bit of a plug-a-palooza. And it's been a pretty awesome week here on Cole TV. We've been pretty busy. We had a lot of stuff coming at you. Of course, we had Pro Wrestling 60 on Monday, and we had not one but two vlogs come at you this week from GCW, where we were in Louisville and Indianapolis. And those replays are available now. But, hey, you know what? Here's a little sneak peek of what you're missing if you haven't seen already our vlogs from GCW last week.
But we are here for GCW's debut in the film. We are here in Indianapolis once again for GCW. Uh-oh! Uh-oh, watch this, watch this. Oh! Holy shit!
What independent wrestling is all about. Complete shit.
You're complete shit!
Fuck you, Manson! Fuck you! Fuck you! I tell you, things got heated there with Manser, Mike.
I was about to say, Dancer kicked your ass.
He did, but the camera was all good. It was all good. You know, a little bullshit finish at the end of the night. Truthfully, Megan Bain should have been the GCW champion, but that's all right. It's all good. But nonetheless, you can catch replays of those vlogs here on Cole TV. And hey, we want to give a shout out to our good friend Ruby Ringside, who is going to be at the Gathering next weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she's not going to be alone. No. She is going to have the suplex assassin, Alex Kane, will be with Ruby Ringside. You can catch them in Charlotte, North Carolina. What?
She needs the managers out.
I know, right? I know. She would be a great manager, man. Like, Ruby kills it, man. We love Ruby. She is the fastest rising podcaster going today, and you can meet her at the Gathering next weekend. And this is real exciting news. The biggest independent event of the year is coming. Check this out.
The Smitty is coming.
The Schmitty is coming.
Oh, our Schmitty bang bang, Schmitty bang bang, we love you. And our Schmitty bang bang, Schmitty bang bang loves us too. Schmitty! The Schmitty is coming.
Guys, guess what? The Schmitty is coming.
The Schmitty is coming. The Schmitty is coming. The Schmitty is coming.
The Schmitty is coming.
The Smitty is coming Friday, August 23rd at the Owen Valley Sports Complex in Spencer, Indiana. Tickets available now. Get yours by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
There you have it. The Smitty is coming. And hey, Cole TV is going to be there. We are so excited to be there. We're going to be a part of the whole show. It's going to be amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. You're going to want to be there. If you, I don't care if you're within a 4-hour driving radius, you need to get to Spencer, Indiana on August 23rd because it's going to be an amazing show. I mean, it's a SpongeBob SquarePants themed show. What more could you ask for? SpongeBob and wrestling? It doesn't get much better than that, folks. And a huge shout out to our boy Cole Radrick, too. Thinking about you, brother. We wish you well. He did announce this week that he is going to be down with the injury here for a little bit. So hope you get to film, brother. We love you so much, man. And you just keep that head up, and you're going to come back bigger, badder, and stronger than ever. And hey, you can also get some of our Cole TV merch over on ProWrestlingTees.com. That's right. Head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees. You can get a Cole TV shirt, you get a PW60 shirt, and keep in mind, we're going to have plenty more coming at you on Pro Wrestling Tees, so keep an eye out for that. All right. That being said, we got a big topic at hand to talk about, and we've got a cavalcade of amazing guests with us tonight. And I can tell you this, my friend, tonight you're going to notice a theme here. Not only is it SummerSlam, but the fastest and one of the best podcast groups out there is joining us tonight. We got several members from La Familia are with us here tonight. So let's go ahead and let's bring them on in. Up first, she's been on the show before. She is the lovely and talented one, Chrissy. Tina, how you doing?
Hi, babies. How are we doing tonight? XLJ, thank you so much for having me back on again. Hello, MJ. How are you?
Good. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing good, darlings. I'm doing good. I'm stoked. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me and my crew here tonight. We are elated to be here.
We're glad to have you. And hey, you mentioned crew because you are not alone. Oh, no. You put that bat signal up and you brought some members of La Familia with you. Up next, we got with us one Hot Take Wrestling. How you doing, sir?
Yo. Anything for this? I am Toxic Jose, one member of the Hot Take Wrestling, one member of the Familia, XLOG, MJ. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate you guys so much. Glad
appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. First time here on Cole TV, so we're happy to have you and welcome in to our family from your La Familia. Yeah. And, of course, you wouldn't be complete if you didn't have a wise man with you. Oh, no. Let's bring in Pat, the wise man. How you doing, friend?
How are y'all doing, guys and girls and guys? Gather around, feast your eyes. You are now tuned in to the one that is wise. XLOG, pleasure. MJ, thank y'all for having me on. It is an absolute honor, and I am very excited to be here.
Well, we're so glad to have you. And we have one more guest join us here tonight. It's been a minute since we've seen this young man on our show, but we love him dearly. Let's bring him on in. One, Derrick the Devastator. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Well, thank you, man. And may I say, that is one amazing shirt that you are wearing there. And I think it's very apropos considering we're talking SummerSlam.
Yeah, absolutely. You know it.
I'm just going to start off the discussion right now because I want to ask you guys what you think of first when you think of SummerSlam, because for me, it is the man on Derrick's shirt. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Bret the Hitman Hart. If Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania, Bret Hart's Mr. SummerSlam.
I 100% agree with that one. And not only that, I think SummerSlam for me is definitely the I know WrestleMania is very big on the heavyweight championship, but SummerSlam is for the IC title.
100.
That is the title of SummerSlam.
There's been so many great Intercontinental title defenses over the years, and we're going to talk about them here tonight. I'm sure they're going to be on some of our lists. What about you, Chrissy? What is some of your first thoughts when you think SummerSlam?
My first thoughts, it's the memories of our childhood, those SummerSlam bumpers that they used to do back in the early 2000s, late 90s, where it was all of the wrestlers playing on the beach in like outlandish scenarios. I think it was like Brock Lesnar punched a shark.
Yeah, you like fucking F5 to shark.
Shark is a great memory.
And do not get me wrong, I love where the women's division is now. I love that we are no longer in the bra and panties matches anymore. But as a young queer girl, those commercials with Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, Stacy Keibler, just all in Baywatch bathing suits, kind of didn't help me out much. And like where I landed on the spectrum. So yeah, like if I had to blame one thing for making me queer, it's kind of wrestling. I sometimes I wonder if I can ship Stephanie McMahon like my therapy bill.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
so good.
Tom takes faces as you talk about this. It's hilarious.
No, that's fine. He's also in the same therapy I am for the same reason.
Exactly. You think growing up on the west side of Chicago, you want to be like, oh yeah, I think Luna Vachon is hot. That's just you can't say that in the hood. There's no way you can say that in the hood without getting like, what? Explain it to me. Then they watch it over and over again. And okay. Yeah, they owe me money too for my therapy bill as well.
I guess it could be worse. You could say Bertha Faye or something like that.
Hey, listen. There's a key. Lock. We don't judge here.
In the words of the fabulous Will Gray, we don't yuck anybody's yum over here.
Damn right.
Damn right, my friend.
Touche.
Forever. That was.
Hey, Pat, what about you, man? What's some of your first thoughts when you think of SummerSlam?
For me, it's growing up in summertime. I was raised as a military kid, so during the summers is like really when I got to sit down with my dad when he would have time off and I had time off from school. And SummerSlam was a pay-per-view that we never missed. And as I've gotten older and I've moved away from family and things like that, when SummerSlam rolls around, it's always those fond memories of what my family used to call junk food night. I didn't realize it until I got much older that it was a military family raising 3 kids. You didn't have a when we would do big pay-per-views like that, my parents would take all of the frozen food from the freezer, the pizza rolls, the mini tacos, the chicken nuggets, and they would make all of it and put it on a blanket on the floor for SummerSlam. And we thought it was the greatest thing ever. Like, it's basically junk food night. Like, it's great. We didn't realize till we got older. It's like, no, just the bills came in if we were broke. So yeah, just SummerSlam is always just fine remnants of actually getting to spend good quality time with my father. Like I said, he was a military man and I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with him when he was home, but SummerSlam was always one of those times where I really got to hang out with him.
I gotta say, what you just described was magical, my friend. I want to eat pizza rolls on a blanket and watch SummerSlam. That sounds amazing.
Great time.
Freaking beautiful. It's freaking beautiful.
It was always fun. Like I said, I was in a wrestling household. All of my family still watches wrestling to this day. And so like when we would have those times, it was just, I was the only boy of 2 older sisters. My dad works, everybody did their own thing, but wrestling is what always brought us together. And especially during, again, what we ended up calling junk food night. It was like everybody they set out a blanket. There were different bowls and plates and everything of different kinds of food. And we all just kind of came together as a family and we watched SummerSlam. And it was awesome.
That sounds amazing, man. Jose, what about you, my friend? What's some of your first thoughts when it comes to SummerSlam?
Who are you talking to? It's froze.
He said Jose. He's Joe.
Oh, am I good? Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. I think my first thoughts of SummerSlam, I always think back to falling in love with SummerSlam the first time. Like actually watching the whole video from Blockbuster. I caught up with SummerSlam late. Like I caught up with stuff because we couldn't afford pay-per-view shows, so we got like the movies. So you went to Blockbuster and got the movies in the first place. So I watched everything late until we had like the actual funds and means to do it when I got older to be able to watch SummerSlam. So SummerSlam was always one of those things where you didn't go to your friends during junior high, you didn't go to your friends during high school or whatever, or if you didn't see the homies or whatever, you would see them in the fall, and then you guys would catch up at SummerSlam and what happened or whatever at Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, whatever, and be able to like see what happened from there. So that takes me back like nostalgic times. I think now that I've gotten older, I have a deeper appreciation for it, just because not realizing that like those things shaped my childhood. Like those, like the Bret Hart British Bulldog thing shaped my childhood. Like that whole thing was just, I think that's probably why my wrestling takes are the way they are right now, because nothing is going to like outdo those memories of watching that for the first time.
Dude, you hit the nail on the head, man. Like, yeah, and that's the thing with SummerSlam. I mean, we are talking a rich history. I mean, an event that's been going on for over 30 years, essentially. So, I mean, it's a lot to just narrow this down to 13, but we're going to try to do our best here tonight on learning the ropes. So, y'all ready to get in this? We'll do like a little round table discussion, trying to just giving our favorite SummerSlam matches. And we'll kick it off with number 13. So, Mike, you ready to kick us off, my friend?
Yes. My 13th favorite WrestleMania is an underrated match from SummerSlam 1995. And it's Hakushi versus the 1-2-3 Kid.
Oh, nice. That's a great opener, bro.
Yeah. And it's a match that, like, especially at the New Age generation, you weren't seeing the stuff they pulled out in that match. They were pulling strong-style Japanese stuff in a WWF ring in 1995. And it's just phenomenal. It's 10 minutes of just hard-hitting action.
Yeah, it's a great opener. And I think, too, over the years, SummerSlam's had some amazing opening matches, too, which I'm sure we're going to talk about several more here tonight as well. But, dude, that's a hell of a match to kick us off. That's one I would almost classify as like a hidden gem. And, man, Hakushi in 95, man, was awesome. Like, seriously, if you don't know who Hakushi is, look him up. Go over to the Peacock. Do what you got to do. But Hakushi was a phenomenal wrestler. And his WWF run, I don't think gets nearly enough love.
No.
Had some great rivalry with Bret Hart, too. So
Yeah, when he turned heel, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Chrissy, I'll come to you, my friend. What is your 13th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
So this was difficult for me because I wasn't sure if I go for an actual pick or if I go for the comedy of it all. And I figure why not do both since it's 13. It's 2005, Hogan and Michaels.
Oh,
shit.
All right.
I'll be real honest. That was not a real thing that happened on the actual plane of existence. That was the best piece of theatricality I've seen in my 32 years of living. I've never seen a man sell like that. Shawn Michaels sold like he was about to get sold down the river, and that was his one chance to be a free man. That man made it look like Hogan breathed on him, and he got shot back 50 feet. Like, I've never seen. Dolph Ziggler, I love Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler can never. That's why Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels. That man made that geriatric, thinning-haired white man look like a god because Shawn Michaels moved like that. Because Shawn Michaels is that level of petty. And I aspire to be that level of petty. And I'm sorry, but that's the kind of seasoning that Shawn brings to NXT, and that's why NXT is the way that it is right now.
100.
So NXT my 13 is Hogan, Shawn, Hogan Michaels, 2005.
I think the best description I've ever heard of that match is Shawn Michaels was an octopus in a washing machine.
Yeah.
That's the best description of
Nailed
that. Yes.
That's so cool.
I think this is going to be interesting to see because I think, we're going to have a lot of talk about Shawn tonight, I imagine. And we're going to have a lot of talk about Brett, too.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, well, all right. That's interesting. I'm shocked, but I'm also like kind of happy it was at least touched upon because that match is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Derek, what about you, my friend? What is your 13 favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
All right, my number 13 favorite SummerSlam match. I'm taking it to 2017, the Fatal 4-Way, Lesnar versus Strowman versus Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
Don't even remind me of that.
Okay.
No, not the match, but like I was there for that pay-per-view, and that's when Shinsuke lost to Jinder, and my heart broke that night. So like,
oh no! Oh my god! Oh no! That is just bad.
God, I forgot about. Yeah, and that was kind of a period too where it just felt like the SummerSlams were just like so damn long. I mean, Chrissy, did you all those in Brooklyn?
That was the one in Barclays. We showed up at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Barclays. In the morning. Yeah.
Wow, that was a long ass day.
The only reason why I survived is because I'm a Bronx girl, but you had like implants coming in from like Michigan, leaving Brooklyn in the morning. That wasn't a good look.
I love how New Yorkers just call tourist implants. It's just such the most New York thing ever.
Don't do that now.
Don't get us canceled now. You don't want to be canceled.
I have New York. I love it. It's
Shit. Oh man. All right, Pat, what about you, my friend? What is your 13th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
I actually am going to early hit on what Derek mentioned on SummerSlam being kind of the showcase for the Intercontinental title. And my 13th pick is Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler in 2018 for the Intercontinental title.
Nice.
That's a damn
It
good
is a very, it's a sleeper of a match not a lot of people talk about because SummerSlam 2018 wasn't, anything to kind of set the world on fire. But
Yeah.
Rollins being kind of at his peak, Ziggler being, as Chrissy so mentioned, one of the best sellers in the game. It's fast paced. It's just a banger of a match. If you all haven't seen it in a while, I truly recommend you go back and watch it. It's two of what I consider the best doing what they do best, and that's just going out there and we have the Intercontinental title here. It's the workhorse title. Let's go out and be workhorses. And they put on a spectacle of a match, and it was great.
Yeah.
I think that was an opener too, right? Wasn't that an opener?
It was.
Yeah,
it was an opener.
Yeah, and then that sets the tone too. I don't think anything even came close to topping that match that night. And they had a great rivalry that year too, man. For that
their rivalry was awesome.
Oh,
that was really dope.
Yeah, Seth Rollins' Intercontinental title run in 2018 was incredible. He had a lot. If you go back and look at the rivalries and the matches he had during that entire run, it was just great.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was phenomenal. I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Joe, what about you? What is your 13th favorite match of all time in SummerSlam?
I feel like we're gonna step all over each other, and I'm okay with that. SummerSlam 09, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship.
Ooh,
I feel like Dolph Ziggler. I feel like Dolph Ziggler and a couple others should be in SummerSlam a lot because Dolph Ziggler is one of those guys that during that time period from mid 2000s, early 2010s, he could do no wrong in any match that he was in during SummerSlam. He was just so goddamn good that with Ray being a legend, it made the match flow in a way where it was the announcers were so into that match that they were even just yo, what the fuck are we fucking watching right now? Shit, we even got to the main event, and they're it's a real showcase of the little guy actually taking over. And I know my list is gonna have a lot of Dolph Ziggler in it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a lot of Dolph Ziggler in that for you guys. So, or Nick Nemeth, guys. Sorry. TNA World Heavyweight.
Nick Nemeth.
TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth.
Yes.
TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
On the name.
Yeah, I love it, man. And he's got a rich history in SummerSlam too. So hell yeah, I'm ready to hear him. So, I will say for me, I'm gonna be straight with you on my list. I'm showing my fucking age because a lot of my stuff's older, but I just love the old SummerSlams, and I'm kicking off for 13 on my list is a match I don't think people really talk a whole hell of a lot about. I consider this match a hidden gem, and I'm going all the way back to SummerSlam 1994, the match for the Intercontinental Championship between Diesel and Razor Ramon.
Oh, man.
Thank you. I always love
that
rivalry. In 94, because you transition from Razor to Shawn to then you go into Diesel against Razor. And Diesel, the year he had in 94 is holy shit, man. I mean, that same year he won the tag titles, the IC title, and the WWF title all at once. Say what you will about Kevin Nash, man, but dude, growing up as a kid, man, I wanted to be one of those kids who was in the crowd with the black glove doing the toot-toot. I was all in on Diesel Power, man. He was the leader of my generation.
Yeah, man. Diesel, he was a man.
I met Kevin Nash in 2017. He was here down in Corpus for a Comic-Con, and I went to take a picture with him, and I told him he was my mom's favorite wrestler growing up. So he signed an autograph picture to my mom and made me give it to her.
That's
so my mom has an autographed picture of Kevin Nash.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
The one last thing I will say on that match too that I truly enjoyed, and Joe, I think you can appreciate this as well as my friend, as a lifelong Bears fan, when one Sweetness Walter Payton was in Razor Ramon's corner, man. I was all about it. I loved every bit of it, man.
I listen now. Look, sweetness is the one bear that like everybody loves. Like there's no,
absolutely.
There'll probably be a time where we'll be like, we don't like Jay Cutler. We don't like but Walter Payton. No, everybody loves Walter Payton in Chicago. You crazy? You can't say anything bad about Walter Payton.
Absolutely.
I think it's like Walter Payton and the fridge, like the only two that everybody loves.
And the fridge. Don't get the fridge. Yes.
Only two bears that can get away with they can get away with they can get away with anything in Chicago. And they'd be like, but it's Walter Payton. It's the fridge, man.
Yeah.
They're the one.
100%, dude. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good times, man. Oh.
All right, man. Well, this is kicking off pretty good, pretty solid, but I can't wait to hear what you all have next. So let's move on to number 12, and I'll come to you, Chrissy. You tell me, what is your 12th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
Now, I'm kind of insulted that you assumed that all of us wouldn't be going into the archives, because my number 12 is 1991 Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect.
Ooh,
higher. Oh man.
Oh wow.
Baby, because this is XLJ's show, I have to put Bret lower on the list, baby. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I'll make up for it.
We'll make do. I got you, XLJ. We'll make do for what we got. Okay, we'll make do.
We're gonna put him over.
We will.
But I cannot.
One of my favorite people.
I cannot afford to not give Bret his just due. Mr. Perfect was perfect in the sense that he didn't need an outlandish gimmick in a world of titans that were nothing but outlandish gimmicks at the time.
Yeah.
Was the most technical wrestled match on that card in 91.
Facts.
Highly underutilized. I still to this day feel like Perfect was highly underutilized. Curtis Axel, I feel like his son was highly underutilized when he was when he was like highly active. Bret, I have my personal feelings towards Bret in the real world, but in terms of wrestling in the squared circle, very few could really touch how he performed. It was an immaculately done match. It was booked well. It was written well. It was just performed well. My list is more of a heart list than a logic list, so I'm so sorry that it's not higher, Joe. But there are a few matches that I think could kowtow that match, so that's why it's at 12 on my personal list.
It's okay, because that's what it's about.
That's still fine.
It's your favorite. It's not the best. It's your favorite. So, and trust me, Bret's going to get plenty of love from us. I can guarantee you that. And I'm going to go into a lot more detail because it's pretty high on my list, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But nonetheless, all right, Derrick, what is your 12th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
All right, my favorite, number 12, we go to 2009 World Heavyweight Championship TLC match, Punk versus Hardy.
Nice, you guys are. Oh man, what are we? What are we?
I gotta say, man, that match was awesome, man. I gotta say.
What are we?
I have a sneaky suspicion it's higher on your list.
It is so much higher. It's so much higher. Those two matches alone are just so much. One, Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart just
it's the blueprint.
Oh, yeah, agree.
How you want to wrestle a freaking
I feel
wrestling.
I feel like my number 12 is going to really piss off Joe.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
You're telling me Dolph Ziggler?
We're here for the king, ladies and gentlemen.
Dolph Ziggler was in freaking Cheer Squad and was looking at Mr. Perfect like. That's it.
Oh God.
That's basically what it was. All the way down to the ramen noodle hair. All the way down to the ramen noodle hair.
Oh, not the ramen noodle.
I'm going to move my hips. I'm going to wear light colors. And I'm not going to wear a leotard. I'll wear short shorts and I still wear the white boots. Come on, baby. That's Mr. Perfect. That's perfect. Oh, God.
Now you see why I run with them. Now you see.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Familiars here.
Well, Pat, you got me intrigued, brother. What the hell is your 12th favorite SummerSlam match?
So it's probably going to be higher on a lot of people's lists. And probably on Joe's. But my 12th favorite match is Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, 1995 ladder match.
You're gonna give him a heart attack.
11 more matches better than that.
Wow.
What? You guys are killing me right now. You guys are taking the proverbial.
So hear me out, Joe. Hear me out, okay? In 1995, when this match took place, I was 4 years old. Okay,
It's not Joe's fault. He's ancient. Like that's why. He remembered when
So while I loved that match when it happened, and I've gone back and watched it several times, it's a great match. It's pre-early ladder match, so there's not the crazy high spots and things like that. Just as I grew older, my love of different types of wrestling and the aspects in wrestling changed. Not to mention, even though it's not shown on the like the Peacock stream of it or whatever, the retrieval of the belt was botched. Shawn tried to like pull it down and fell twice.
Yep, sure did.
And then had to go back up and pull it down. And like he in the original broadcast that they show it, he gets mad and like throws a ladder. Like it's peak like lost my smile, Shawn. It's a great match. I'm not taking anything away from it, but again, just as I grew older, the things that I loved in wrestling changed. And Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time. Again, not to disappoint OG or anybody, but there is no Bret Hart on my list. None. Not one.
Okay, it's okay. It's all right.
I put a couple because I was on
Hey,
the show.
we still got it. SLJ, we still got it. We're good.
I'll go get my Bret Hart jacket here in a minute if you need me.
Derrick and OG will have Bret, and me and Chrissy will take Shawn. Like we're gonna fill these. We're gonna fill this up. Trust me, it'll be fine.
Okay.
We need to have Raw Familiar on here more often, XOJ.
I agree. Even
Absolutely.
though they're not giving as much love to Bret, but it's all good. It's all good because that's the thing.
I like Bret. I do. I like Bret Hart. I'm a Bret Hart appreciator. Like Bret Hart has done wonderful, amazing things for the world of wrestling. I will never ever take that away from Bret Hart. But again, just as my personal taste in wrestling, I'll save it for another time. Just he wasn't my particular favorite, but I still respect him. He's great.
Well, I respect you saying that, so it's all good, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. What do you got as your 12th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
Not having Bret Hart on your list is crazy work, and I love you. You're my best friend, but I love you. But that's crazy. That's wild. That's crazy work.
I love you too, Joe. I do.
Oh,
we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it later in the voice chat.
Jesus. Oh man, I'm stomach hurts right now. I feel like this list.
Heart attack.
Because all those matches are so good. Those are top 10 matches that you guys would but
okay.
What? Well, here goes my mediocre match that I guess we're basically not going to talk about. Rock versus Booker T WCW Championship match.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's about right.
And I have a heart versus logic thing against Chrissy as well. As I grew up older, I realized I only like The Rock's promos. I don't like his in-ring work.
Oh, his
That's
in-ring
fair.
work is trash.
Fair enough.
I say this all the time.
Yeah, I don't like his in-ring work. I genuinely feel like that night, 01, was probably like Rock at his peak where he was like in his bag. And Booker's very underrated in ring too.
Dude, for real. Booker's
yeah,
Booker's great.
Absolutely. Booker was definitely underrated and so good too.
He's so good. Outside of the ring, man. But he's so good in ring. And I feel like that night they just worked really well together. So 01 SummerSlam, Booker versus Rock, WCW Championship match. I thought that was an amazing match.
It's a damn good match, man. All right, so for my 12th favorite match, I am going to go all the way back to 2011. And of course, a lot of people remember that it's the Summer of Punk. But I really think this rivalry so gets forgotten about, and it's complete bullshit because it's some of the best work they've ever done. I'm talking about the World Heavyweight Championship No Holds Barred match between Randy Orton and Christian.
Oh,
Damn, that match was good. Damn, that was such a good match.
That
was
finishing
really good.
RKO. Jesus.
Man.
Nasty.
Dude, it's like one of
I
the
tell
Randy's
you.
had so many great RKOs.
That was a
In
good
my
match.
opinion, is easily in the top 5. And he's had some great ones, but
Yeah.
I loved at the end of that spot, like he gives him the RKO and he doesn't even like get up to, he just like rolls him over with his
Rolls him
hand.
over.
Like just get off the stairs. Just go.
Yeah. Just roll him over and let him go.
And Christian sold that whole match. Like he sold so well that whole match, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he does great things. That's why he's everybody's dad now.
Yeah.
and the stuff like with Edge and stuff too, and Edge pretty much just like being like, dude, you're being a dick, you know. Oh God, it was so good. Like that. I wish that would get more love, that rivalry, man, because it was such good TV.
Hella underrated rivalry.
Well, Mike, what about you, my friend? What is your 12th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
SummerSlam 1996, the Boiler Room Brawl between Mankind and Taker.
Oh, I forgot about that match. Oh man, that was a heater, man. That was a bomb.
2 men just beating each other up, and then you have Paul Bearer, who we never thought was going to turn on that man on Taker, just screw him over and hit him with the urn.
You know, my favorite thing about Mick Foley is he would keep yelling random words during a match. Like he yelled, "That's it," like 7 times.
Yeah, makes no sense. I was like, "What is happening?"
What do you mean? That's it. What do you mean? There's like 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
I remember in one match that he had, I don't specifically remember who it's for, but like he's beating some dude up, like pounding him in the corner, and just keeps yelling, "Stop it!" I'm like, "You're the one that's doing it, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about?"
It's the most random. It's not even words that go with the match. Like he's not just like, "That's it. Stop it." And something with it. Hey, I don't know.
Because there's not even words that go with the match.
They don't go with the match. Like you're like, "Oh, I got him," or "Oh, this is it." It's like, "That's it." Wait, we just started. Y'all just grappled. You just hit him with a chair. It just started. You're 2 minutes in. Like you can't be done.
My poor sweet Mick Foley. I love that man.
Mick Foley is a legend and deserves
one of the great
the rest of his life to be on a tropical island because that man sacrificed so much for us.
He's one of the sweetest men in all of wrestling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Such a great guy, man. I love
just give him a whole island and make it Christmas themed and let him be happy.
Yes. Let's go. The one thing I would
I'll start the GoFundMe for Mick right now.
Let's do it. We'll start it right after the show. The one thing I want to say about that match I always found so fascinating, Mike, was how they actually taped it the night before and then had to literally pick up the stuff like when they went out in the crowd. And can you imagine buying a ticket to SummerSlam, going to the Gund Arena where it was at this year, which how ironic, we're going back to Cleveland this year. And like this is way before you have big screens and stuff. They literally had giant, like big at the time, like 32-inch fucking ginormous, like big bulky TVs ringside that you had to watch the action on. Like I can't even imagine being in the crowd. And that was the best match on the card that year too.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. The times they are changing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep on keeping on here on our list. And Pat, I'll come over to you, my friend. What is your 11th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
For my number 11, again, Joe's probably going to get mad that this is higher than my last match, but again, just as my love of wrestling has changed and everything like that, I am going to 2009 DX versus Legacy.
Oh, that's an underrated match. That's so underrated and so good.
So,
to my opinion,
I am a huge proprietor that I was a fan of the DX revival. I know a lot of people found it corny and, you know, it was 2 old men making terrible dad jokes, but that's always just kind of been my humor. So I was a fan. It was early pre-Cody Rhodes, before he was Cody Rhodes, putting on a show, doing everything he could to get over. Ted DiBiase Jr. before he stole everybody's tax money. It was 2 veterans of the game putting on a good show to give the rub to 2 of the new up and comers, while only one of them ended up being something. But and I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling, man. I don't get how WWE doesn't get behind it more. WWE is always so focused on storyline over match quality, and when you have more people in the ring, there's more story to be had. Don't understand how WWE doesn't get behind it more, but yeah, it's a great match on a semi to above average SummerSlam. Again, Derek talks about Punk versus Hardy with the random Undertaker appearance at the end. But yeah, DX versus Legacy. That's my number 11. Joe, I can see the disappointment in your face.
I'm not disappointed because that match, I still think it should be. My affinity for DX is what wants me to be that match higher. And then that was like no knee pad tights Cody Rhodes, and it was like
it was.
Yeah.
Bad heel.
Yes, that was pre-dashing Cody Rhodes.
Pre-dashing.
Pre-dashing, indeed.
Pre-dashing.
And I remember Sean and Triple H, didn't they come out on a tank too or something like that?
They did. They came out in a tank.
That's the only part
They
of
did.
that
Came out on
the tank.
They came out on a tank, and somewhere off in Bulgaria, Rusev was watching, like, "Huh, that looks like a good idea."
There you
I
go.
will mount my wife in a tank.
No.
It's gonna happen. That's where.
No, I know it happens, but like sponsors, guys.
No, we're good. We're about in the hour. We're good. The network says, "Fuck it, we're good. We're good."
Don't yuck our young, Chrissy.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna walk before we get a sponsor on the show.
Wow.
Don't say that.
Wow, Jay.
Sorry, it has to be said.
Derek, buddy, I'm going to come back to you, my friend. What is your 11th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
All right, my 11th favorite is from 2012, the no disqualification match between Triple H and Brock Lesnar.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, let's hear it. How come you're going with that one?
I got to say, this is one of the fewest or rare occasions that Paul Heyman announced Brock Lesnar in the beginning. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. And I would definitely say that Triple H won the match to be no DQ, and how Triple H been just been manhandling most of the night by Brock is just, it just amazes me to see that, hey, he still can go in spite of, you know, all the beatings that he took. But other than that, I think it was a great, decent match.
Okay. I feel you. I'm trying. Like, I remember it. Like, I remember the whole build up to it with like what he broke, like Triple H's arm, right, or something like that. Or
yes, he broke his arm, and Brock has gone off many times trying to break his arm again with that Kimura lock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good solid one, man. I gotta be honest, I forgot about that one. That's a solid pick, bro.
That's a great pick.
All right, Joe. What about you, my friend? What is your 11th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
I'm going to preface this by saying that I am an ECW stan. So when I preface this,
it's
nothing to do with the match in any shape, fashion, or form. Edge versus Lance Storm, 2001 SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh,
I think Lance Storm is probably like during like that ECW area and the right there WWE era, severely underappreciated for how he really
absolutely
is. As monotone as he is, and like as monotone and as much as people can't cut a promo. Nah. Because Lance Storm was supposed to cut a promo, he was supposed to go beat people up. That's what he was doing. Okay?
Yeah.
They were going back and forth and back and forth. People didn't even think that match was going to be that good. Like, they didn't realize how good that match was. Again, banger of a match. Big Lance Storm fan. Edge versus Lance Storm 01 Intercontinental Championship.
Second best super kick in the game.
100.
Who got the best super kick in the game?
The best one, Joe?
I mean,
the best one is Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Man, I'm not even a Sean guy, and I even got to go with them on this one.
Tonight, and I'm here for it.
We're definitely talking about this in the bush. We're definitely talking about this.
Talking about this when we get home, Joe.
Like 6 times already.
He's top 3. Calm down. It's top 3, guys. Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Nice. Well, for my number 11 match, I went with a match that I think people forget a lot about. It's another one I'd say is a hidden gem. But you talk about like a trendsetter, and this is one of the all-time great rivalries in all of professional wrestling. I wish we could have got more of this. We should have got more of this, but thank God we did get some of this because this match is fucking amazing. I'm going back again to SummerSlam 94. I'm talking about the match for the WWF Women's Championship between Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano.
Ooh,
dude, that was such a good match.
Nice.
They should have been given way more time. I mean, yeah, it was like a 10-minute match.
Way more time. Yes.
I mean, this is 94. We're talking all the way back in the dark ages, so to speak. But these two competitors, they brought it, man. And like Bull Nakano and Medusa Alundra Blaze, whatever you want to call her, that is seriously one of my all-time favorite. Like anytime that they got together, they were cooking. It was such amazing matches they had. The rivalry was like second to none. I fucking love that match to pieces. And Luna Vachon being involved as well as in the corner of Bull Nakano too, man.
Yeah,
like a win-win situation. I love that match to pieces. So that's
And you talk about both Alundra and Bull Nakano. Great chemistry, ring chemistry in the ring together. I mean, you just can't beat that.
No, you really can't, man. You absolutely. I wish they would have gotten more like matches back in the day. Mike, what about you, buddy? What is your 11th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
DX facing each other. SummerSlam 2002, the unsanctioned Triple H versus Shawn Michaels.
Damn. I'm with Pat. I thought that was going to be a lot higher.
I thought it would be higher too, but hey, I'm not complaining. That's what we could do. Good.
Speak for yourself, Derek. I'm complaining. Speak for yourself.
Mike, you had done pissed off La Familia, bro.
Go ahead.
You managed to piss off the entire right side of the screen at once.
Top 7. Top 7. Top 7. Top 7. He came back. He had a Philippians 4:13 shirt and no ring
He
gear.
remembers the Bible verse.
Oh my God! Yeah. I remember that.
Amazing.
I have that verse tattooed on my chest.
Oh, for real?
For real? I love it.
It's right here. It's wrapped around a cross. It's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
That's awesome.
You got the wrong ones, baby.
Very cool.
With a tear in my eye, brother. With a tear in my eye.
Come on, Ric Flair.
What are you doing?
Good, nice callback.
He was supposed to come back and I'm sorry. Well,
I think they're gonna need a minute, man.
Right.
So Mike, I gotta ask you, bro. Why so low on your list?
Chrissy, don't send MJ any Familia merch.
No stickers for you.
Give him a shirt and a sticker. Okay.
Yes, Joe.
Go ahead, MJ. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, MJ.
I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting this.
You have made this man speechless. This man's never speechless.
The
Wrestling Encyclopedia is never speechless.
We'll be nice before they don't invite us back again. We'll be nice.
That's the only reason. Because with Shawn Mike, that's the only reason why.
The funny thing is, I wasn't shocked when Chrissy and Joe came at me, but it was the look on Wiseman, who I'd never see overreact. Oh shit!
Never seen overreact, baby. We gotta put you in the group chat for like a day.
No, don't be.
When you said it, my flabber was gasted. I was so taken aback.
That's a good one. I love it.
This is one of the matches I don't watch as often as I do the rest of the matches on my list. It is a great match, but it's just one I need to go back and watch it more.
Baby, it's fine.
Yes,
Your top match is one of the bikini matches for SummerSlam with like Tori Wilson and Sable. It's fine.
No, bro.
I
It's
didn't
great
have-
Ali and Kane. I know. I know he's got Ali on his list.
It's like number 2 on my
No,
list.
that will not happen, Kirsty. I promise you that.
Deal.
You said number 2 on my list.
That's number 2 on my
Oh
list.
my goodness.
Don't do that, guys. I
Oh,
watched that.
I will say I do have a few hot takes on my list that are probably
Okay.
going to piss some people off.
We can't wait to hear, man. It's already
We're here for the heat,
exciting.
man.
We're not even in the top 10 yet, man. It's exciting. Well, Chrissy, I'm coming to you, my friend. What is your 11th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
Dear Lord, to try and bring it back to some semblance of like order here, Jesus Lord. This is again for me a very important moment in wrestling, especially during that particular timeline. But it's Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam 2022. The match itself was good, but what happened after the match is what is significant to me, and that's the formation of Damage Control.
Yeah.
That Bailey bringing back a returning Dakota Kai and a returning Io Shirai, at that point Io Sky, and it really was the beginning of that era of the women's division. Damage Control from that point on went on a very, very big tear. They did falter at certain points. I feel like towards the end they kind of petered out, but when Damage Control started, they were a hot ticket item. The fact that Bailey brought back two people that were fired from the VKM regime, and this was probably one of the first batch of rehires when Hunter took the chair. So that was a huge deal just in the timeline for me, and it cultivated at SummerSlam because of that match. Bianca had an amazing showing. Bianca is probably top 3 women's WWE wrestlers of all time, point blank period, just based off of athleticism alone, let alone the fact that she could do the corporate pushing. She can do the podcast. She can do the video game tie-in. She can do all those things. Bianca Belair is probably one of the best to ever do it from a corporate standpoint. In ring, she's also amazing. On the mic, I feel like she was better in NXT on the mic than she is on the main roster, because they're too afraid of having her with that ratchet connotation that Sasha got. So they're trying to steer her away from the quote-unquote stereotypical Black woman archetype, even though there are aspects of Bianca that just come natural to her that would be associated with said archetype. So it's a tight rope for her to walk, unfortunately. I feel like she was more herself in NXT than she ever has been on the main roster. So for her to work the way that she does, as well as she does, with the kind of handcuffs she has on her now, like the corporate kind of like gate she has around her, and for her to still be as excellent as she is, goes to show just how amazing a Bianca Belair is and can be and will continue to be. So it's not so much the match itself, but it's more the moment and what happened afterwards that puts it at that number for me.
Okay, I respect that. So
I respect it. I was trying to be mad at you.
Respect, indeed, yes.
I saw your face trying to be mad at me, and that's why I hit you with facts.
You're freaking brilliant. I couldn't do anything about it. You're brilliant. Man, you got it. I couldn't do anything about it.
Well, it's been pretty solid list so far, but now we're breaking into the top 10. So I'm going to come over to you, Joe. Give me your 10th favorite SummerSlam match of all time.
All right. Let's just start a fire, right, don't we? Raw Women's Championship 2016, Sasha versus Charlotte, top 10.
Ooh, solid.
Underrated match.
Underrated.
Solid, underrated match.
That's not even their best match, but for like SummerSlam, obviously, like that, like this will be the one where I'm just like that to me was when now Mercedes Moné was in a space where she just wanted to be one of the best and not portray herself as such. And I think Charlotte in ring is a top 20 wrestler of all time. Not women's wrestler, not men's wrestler, is a top 20 wrestler of all time in ring. You just can't dispute that. You cannot dispute that in any shape, fashion, or form, because Charlotte she just has it. When the lights are on, it's the main event. No matter who she's facing, she is a freaking killer. I forgot I wasn't on TikTok, so I could say that. So Charlotte to me, she's not the best out of the 4 horsewomen by any stretch of the imagination. So before we get there, that's not what it is. But Charlotte and Sasha, their chemistry from that match, their Hell in a Cell match, and a bunch of other things they've done together.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Number 10, Sasha versus Charlotte.
Agreed.
26.
Solid. And I think that's another one we could classify kind of as a hidden gem people tend to forget about, man. But that was that was a great summer, a great
Yeah.
rivalry that they had too on the main roster.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that's why it kind of gets lost in the shuffle because that rivalry was so like flip floppy with the title. They exchanged it so often that people forget that they had that banger of a match at SummerSlam. But I agree with what you said. Their rivalry that entire summer was incredible. Just watching Sasha basically get ragdolled from week to week by Charlotte, just it was incredible. And like I said, we don't necessarily get to see that much of Mercedes now, but back then she was top tier.
Absolutely.
Good, nice. I can dig it, man. Well, for me, my 10th favorite SummerSlam match of all time. I remember this very vividly as a kid. This year's SummerSlam was an amazing, one of the all-time great SummerSlam pay-per-views. But this main event, man, the hype on this, man, was for real. And coming from the world's most famous arena, I mean, and arguably the two biggest stars of this era, I'm talking about the Highway to Hell, baby. Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from SummerSlam 98, man.
Okay.
I love that match.
Yeah.
I love the match itself, but what I remember most vividly is the build to that, man, because the build with the Undertaker and then Kane's and Undertaker are like, you know, they're brothers again and they're on the same page. What is up, World Championship Bracket? How you doing, my good friend? Just everything about that. And I'll never forget the spot where like Undertaker jumps from the top rope all the way to ringside through the announce table on Stone Cold, man. It was just crazy. And like going into it as a kid, you were just like, dude, who's gonna win this? Is it Undertaker? Is it Stone Cold? You don't know. You know, these are like the two top baby faces in the company, man. So everything about that pay-per-view was awesome, but that main event matchup was so damn good and lived up to the hype. So number 10 for me is Undertaker and Stone Cold.
Yeah, pre-ministry Undertaker was something else. Like he really like it's especially like I said, like with him and Stone Cold kind of being the faces and you had Rock and everyone kind of coming in as heels. Like he was just doing everything he could to just make sure that he wasn't going to get pushed back down the card or get stuck just doing, you know, the occasional Hell in a Cell or Inferno match or whatever. Like he really, really wanted to make sure that he, you know, kind of staked his name and stuck his flag in the ground pre-ministry. And then pre-ministry or ministry Undertaker was fine. That's a topic for another story. But yeah, that era, especially that Highway to Hell match was something.
Yeah. You damn chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, man. Great fucking match. Great choice.
Mike, what about you, buddy? What's your 10th favorite SummerSlam of all time?
It's a match we have actually already spoken about. Christian versus Randy Orton, nose hold barred. To me, this was Christian's best singles work in the WWE, and reminded me of why I fell in love with Christian when he was in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
because he had that phenomenal run in NWA and TNA, and then they fumbled his return, taking him to ECW. And it wasn't good. And then this rivalry just kind of – he's one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. One of the best.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no doubt. One of them, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I couldn't agree with you more, dude. Seriously. Like, I love me some Christian. Whether it's the father, whether it's like TNA Christian, where it's creepy little bastard Christian, crying Christian, every form of Christian I love. So I'm with you on that, my friend. All right, Chrissy, what about you? What is your 10th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
This is another more personal pick. This is Charlotte versus Bianca versus Asuka, SummerSlam 2023. Just goddamn, I love women. I really do. Like, Jesus Christ. That is probably I didn't need storyline. I didn't need anything. It's just three of the most athletic women in WWE's history, just kicking the crap out of each other for a solid what, like 20 minutes, 20 minutes?
20.
And then it gets capped off with the cash-in of Io Sky. And Io Sky is someone who is very close to my heart. Io Sky is one of the first Joshi wrestlers that I was introduced to. Io Sky holds a special place in my heart because she is one of the rare Joshi wrestlers that learned Spanish when she ran the Latin circuit, when she ran the Lucha circuit. Io Sky has cursed out someone in Spanish for calling her Janita in Mexico, and she will forever be my hero for that. And Io Sky has so much love from the Latin community that she got out-cheered. She out-cheered Bianca Belair in Puerto Rico at Backlash.
Yep.
Io Sky is highly underrated across all boards. Asuka, highly underrated across all boards. The fact that Asuka lost her, Asuka should still be on a winning streak to this day, in my personal opinion, but I'm just biased. Charlotte, as Joe said, one of the best ones to ever do it. Bianca, as I said earlier, the same. Asuka, you could do worse than to learn from someone who's worked all over the world. And then to have it end with someone who has also worked and is incredibly beloved all over the world. It is a starcade of women on that match. And for them to, this was before Rhea really turned into Rhea. So it was kind of rough for Bianca to kind of hold it all. But that match really showed that every single one of those individuals has the star power, that quality to be a title holder. Now, whether or not they're written correctly, that's unfortunately out of their hands, but they showed that night that every single one of them has the capability to hold that title well, and I absolutely adored that match.
Easily the best match of last year's show, too, man. And also, let's give flowers. Io had one of the best title runs, seriously, on the main roster. From SummerSlam to WrestleMania, that shit was solid. And that's an amazing story they told at Mania with Bailey, and so good. So good.
Io's great. I remember seeing Io fighting men in Lucha Underground. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And she had this like assassin dark like black leather gimmick. I was like, dude, this is dope. I like this.
She fought the match she fought Penta in. Was like
that's really good.
Forever. So
really good.
All right, Derek, tell me, what is your 10th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
My number 10, 2015, winner takes all. Seth Rollins versus John Cena.
What are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
Y'all are gonna make him quit my group.
What are we doing, bro?
Oh, come on.
What are we doing?
I'm sitting. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm sitting.
Oh my Lord.
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, Derek. Go ahead.
Would it be insensitive if I said, Mike, that's really all you can do?
No, it's not insensitive. I'm happy you did it because I like those kind of jokes. My people.
All right.
Mike, you don't know what you just did. You just let him off the leash, Lord.
But see, I don't mind Derek's pick because the match was great. It really was, but the finish of that match.
Exactly.
Sweet heavenly Lord.
Yeah,
that's the finish.
Poor Joe.
Even if you know, you know. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real. It didn't even make my list because of that.
It didn't make mine either. It didn't make mine either.
Do you guys? Okay, I'm okay. All right. Listen, just hear me out. From 2014 to now, Seth Rollins is the most consistent, is the most underappreciated, and literally has killed in most of his SummerSlam matches. I don't think there's a bad SummerSlam match from Seth Rollins. And for him to be against John Cena, who at that time was actually wrestling, do you understand that crowd was? Oh, I can't deal with this. I can't deal.
The crowd was split.
It
was split.
That is number 6 for me now, guys.
Joe, isn't your podcast called Hot Take Wrestling?
Yes, and I am very hot right now. With anger. Shawn Michaels. Sean Hickenbottom was placed by number 7 on his comeback from wrestling. when he got off the drugs, off the alcohol, and we put him at number 7. Oh,
he spun the block on you, bro.
Point of block. Oh my gosh.
Point of order. Can I even do that? I don't even know things. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lord.
Oh man, Joe, I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, man.
Well,
oh my gosh.
I hope your next. I hope your 10th pick isn't gonna like make Joe just.
He's gonna give him an aneurysm.
It might. It might.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. It might.
All right, let's
starting it.
For my number 10 favorite SummerSlam match of all time, it is Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, 2014.
Were they just beat the fuck
I
out of him?
I have never. So I'm a comic book fan. I'm a huge comic book fan. I have never seen the death of Superman personified so much in wrestling. The unkillable, undeniable, the whole mean Cena wins lol thing that went on for years with John Cena, and to have Brock come in and absolutely decimate John Cena. And this was pre-Suplex City Brock. This was pre all that. This was the first time that I felt gave credence to Brock breaking Undertaker's streak of Mania. He just walked in and again, it was so mind-blowing to me that they actually let it happen. It's the same way I feel about a Firefly Funhouse match at Mania. Like, they actually let someone come in and destroy the face of the company. And it was, to me, it was so amazing to see.
That's the best analogy I've ever heard.
That's pretty.
There's poetry, man. Sheer poetry.
That's the best analogy. The death of Superman is the best analogy.
Spot on. That is
absolutely.
We're clipping that shit. So that was good. Well,
good.
All right. I'll start us off here with number 9, and for me, and yes, now we're getting into my list of the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Because at number 9,
his top 10 list of Bret Hart moments.
Hey, now they're not all Bret Hart matches, okay?
They might as well be, brother.
Yes,
you're safe here. We know.
You're in a safe space, OG.
You're in a safe space, brother.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely in a safe space.
Well, I'm going with the main event encounter from SummerSlam 1997, Heart and Soul, where The Undertaker defended the WWF Championship against Bret Hart. And, of course, the special referee was none other than Shawn Michaels. I mean, at the height of the Michaels-Bret rivalry, you throw in Taker, you get so much out of this matchup, too, man, because, like, you spin off into you spin off into Taker versus Shawn, because essentially Shawn cost Taker the match. And of course, the big stipulation at the time was if Bret Hart lost the match, he would never wrestle in the United States again, because this is the peak fill-in Bret Hart of pro Canada and fuck the USA like Bret Hart, man. So I mean, like, I remember watching this one on pay-per-view as a kid too, and I also remember with this SummerSlam too, like with all the different stipulations for the Hart Foundations going into this show too. But I feel like this match encapsulates like 97, like that early pre-Attitude Era, or me personally, I consider it part of the Attitude Era as far as I'm concerned. It's 97, but for me, I had to have this match up on my list. I'm going Taker versus Bret from SummerSlam 97. All right, Mike.
Solid choice.
Thank you, sir.
Solid, very solid.
Appreciate it.
Number 9, Seth versus Brock from 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seth won the belt back, Britt, didn't he, from Brock on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's an ongoing theme from, I think, like 2012 to like 2018 or 19 or maybe even further, that Brock is just on every SummerSlam. Like, he's just always fucking there.
Yeah.
I feel like he was the person most associated with the SummerSlam S posters. Like, that's how much he was on SummerSlam, like guaranteed booking.
Yeah.
But whenever I think of like the green, orange, blue like color scheme for SummerSlam, I automatically think of like bleach blonde hair Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like Brett left, and they're like, we need someone to be Mr. SummerSlam. Brock, it's you. Like,
I mean, to Brock's credit, he did F5 a shark too. So I mean,
this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. And then he sat on the beach.
Title at SummerSlam.
Yep. Yeah. He won his first title. Yep. The Brock Lesnar era really kicks off at SummerSlam. So that's an excellent analogy. I mean, if Brett was the early onset Mr. SummerSlam, you could easily say Brock was the next Mr. SummerSlam because his imprint is all over all these SummerSlams. So, but no, that's a pretty solid pick.
Oh, very solid. Yes.
It's
not mad at that.
One of my favorite Brock matches. I ain't the biggest Brock fan, but that's definitely one of them. I was like, okay, get behind this. And Seth is just Seth is fucking Seth.
Seth. So.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's been a fan of it since he was Tower Black and Ring of Honor and IWA Mid-South, always good to see Seth in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Chrissy, what is your 9th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
This isn't even like top 13 SummerSlam. This is just whether or not Chrissy gets yelled at by Joe. This is what this episode is now.
I'm kind of scared.
My 13, it's way more recent. It's Roman Reigns and Jay Tribal Combat 2023.
Oh,
okay.
Not bad.
That was a good main event.
It's the beginning of the end of the bloodline as we knew it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I believe that's when Jimmy turned on Jay. Am I correct?
Yes.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's the beginning of the end of the... It's very much the end. It's very much like Spider-Man Homecoming. Like it's the first movie after Endgame.
Yeah.
You're not sure how it's going to go.
That's a fucking great way of putting it.
And now you're like, oh God, it's good, but I don't know what's going to happen from here. Jay and Jimmy and Solo have done a lot since then. It's almost been a full year now since the ending of the original run of the Bloodline.
Wow, that's crazy to think. Yeah.
I honestly feel like that was the last time personally. You're probably going to get a lot of flack for this, XL. I'm so sorry. That was the last time I saw Jey Uso as main event Jey Uso. I saw Jey Uso as main event. So he's been running good. He's been running good. He was great before that. He's good now. Do I blame Jay? Absolutely not. Jay is amazing in the ring. Jay is great on the mic. But he has unfortunately been WWE'd where he's been catchphred.
WWE'd. Yeah.
He's been WWE'd. Catchphrase. What did I say?
Now, Chrissy, you know Papa H is watching, so we don't want to make Papa H.
Daddy Hunter can do and say whatever he wants, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna still smash his wife regardless. But the only reason why I can't put that match higher is because like what happened afterwards to Jay. Jay literally got neutered after that match. He's been eating and whatever for the rest of his life, and I'm so sorry they do that with the POC characters. They give him a gimmick. Sasha was ratchet, Bianca has the ponytail. They give him one or two things to cling on to, and that's what they're forced to sell. Bobby didn't have one. They got rid of Bobby. MVP stopped being MVP and started being a manager. They couldn't sell him as MVP anymore. They got rid of him. Jay very carefully needs to decide what he's willing to do. Is it a bag that he wants? Because he can keep the Yeet gimmick forever if it's just a bag. If it's a legacy thing and a wrestling thing, he has to drop that now. He has to drop it now.
Yeah. Jay is not
I saw Jay as a viable threat was SummerSlam 2023, and that's why it's my number 9.
Jay's not taking you to Waffle House.
Jay got this forever.
I'm trying to smash Tama anyway, so it ain't Jay. I'm looking for.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I'm sorry.
I've never been more attracted to a wrestler than when Kevin Owens headbutted his cell when Logan Paul was like directly in front of him. I'm super into that. Super gets me off. I love that so much.
All right.
Game
You
have a shot.
Got it.
And you want to talk about sponsors.
Listen, I can get OnlyFans real quick as a sponsor. I don't know about y'all, but I might have a shot.
There you go. I'm on Feet Finder. It's all good.
Oh my God.
It's all right.
Nobody knows it. Nobody knows it.
OG, I just want you to just clip this part of the show where Chrissy just basically called all of us ugly. It's all good.
Yeah, like subtly call this like you guys are somewhat homely.
No, I'm just saying that based off of the pictures that Patrick and like Joe took for like the Familia page, they're not the best with their angles and lighting. So like,
where are your pictures for the Familia page, ma'am?
They're in the chat, baby. You can look now.
First off,
so you had wait, didn't you have someone else take them for you?
Because I'm not a plebeian. I'm gonna have someone else take my photos.
First off, what you're not gonna do is I'm in my office and y'all wanted pictures and I was ill-equipped and unprepared for it. Don't attack me because I came in on time instead of prepared.
You were actually 3 weeks late for that because you're never in our chat. And also, why is our name not on your page, Joe?
Because I'm literally doing stuff like looking at SummerSlam matches and you keep shooting down. Okay. Number one, I was
Mike,
on
you
your
got any
side
popcorn? I'm just gonna watch this.
This is us like loving each other.
We're never gonna be invited back. We're never.
Let me get this out anyway. If you ever in your life with Shawn Michaels, he better be top 5 throughout.
I have more lists, Joe. Okay, I have more lists.
He better be
this
5
is happening. They're invited back every week. This is happening.
I agree.
Yes, that's gonna be good.
Wow, that's good, Mike. Because you know what's crazy? You invited me back every week. Joe hasn't even done that for me on his podcast.
Whoa,
crazy, right?
People come see you and they don't want to see us anymore. Like I have a show to run.
Chrissy, if it makes you feel any better, I haven't been invited to Joe's show at all.
Wild.
Because Patrick, people need to see us. I don't understand. Listen, I still have a show to run. Okay, I can't just have you people on my show all the time.
You people.
Right?
You people.
Oh my God. No. Really? This is what we're doing now.
I feel so much like the fucking Homer Simpson gif right now. Just it's all good. It's all good. All right.
We're on mid-season break for the record, and I'll see you two next season.
I'm about to roll into my closet.
Oh my God.
Oh shit, man. Oh God.
Just Limp Bizkit as he rolls away. Just keep rolling.
I think a joke there, but that's one of my favorite songs ever.
He's down 100. Yep.
Yeah.
I love you. That's one of my favorite songs. To Jump Around.
There you go.
No comment. Anyway, Derrick, what about your ninth? Goddamn. What about your ninth favorite SummerSlam match of all time? Fuck, are we on 9? I forgot.
Yeah,
we're on 9. We are on 9.
Christ on a cracker. Anyway.
All right, my number 9 best SummerSlam match, 2021. WWF Championship, Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad.
That is
2001.
That is actually the exact same match that I have for my number 9 as well.
Oh, no shit.
It's actually the exact same match that I have for my number 9.
Oh my God.
2001 Stone Cold versus
2001 Stone Cold.
Thank God.
That is
also my number 9.
It's happened before on the show where we've had 2, but I've never had where 3 had the same match at the same.
That is so dope.
That's amazing.
Don't we? Honestly.
Yeah, it is one of the few times that I feel that a disqualification served the match. served the storyline well. It was peak sniveling heel Stone Cold Steve Austin and just wrestling machine Kurt Angle, and no matter what Austin did, he just couldn't put Angle away, and so he had to result to a disqualification, and it served the story so well. So it's one of the times, like I said, that I don't mind a dusty finish, but yeah, it's good. I love Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is so underappreciated, and it's blasphemy to me. Yeah. And so and this match, while it did take place during the invasion angle, but it was still great. Why are you making that face at me, Joe? I already last week or 2 weeks ago had to spend 3.5 hours talking about the Authority storyline. We're gonna just skip past the invasion angle, okay?
Are you okay? Oh my God.
No, I'm not. Trauma, lots of it.
Oh my gosh,
that's amazing! I can't believe all three of you had it, but I love that. Like that, yeah.
That's cool.
A great matchup, man.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on here. Now we're going to our number 8. Mike, I'll come back to you, buddy. What is your 8th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
I'm still trying to catch breath with everything that happened. I got busy.
You need a minute, bro? I can come back to
you. Do you need to sit down?
We do. I'm so sorry.
That was funny,
I've gotten comfortable here. I apologize.
Right. Once Mike told me I can make the jokes, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm in my bag.
Once that started happening, it was a wrap from now. Now
it's a wrap.
I'm home, baby. I'm not
we got home training, y'all. We got
right. If it's any consolation, OG, it's Chrissy's fault for putting me and Joe in the same room together, because we just go off.
Okay. What did you think was going to happen, Chrissy?
Listen. Okay, they need a bigger female demographic on this fucking podcast. I put like 2 of the hotter ones on the show to try and draw fucking eyes.
I'll damn that.
Y'all are out here fucking acting up.
What did you think was going to happen, me and him? You thought we was going to behave on this show? Huh? In your face. Not going to happen. Nope.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Mike, please tell us your number 8 match.
Number 8, TLC 1, Dudley's versus Edge and Christian.
Oh, that is a classic. That was a classic.
Fuck. That's my 8. Shit. Christian, please tell me that's your 8. Please tell me that's your 8.
No, because I have
the original's always
higher on my list.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not mentally in need of assistance.
I'm also a very big fan of tag team wrestling. And tag teams in the 2000s, there was thousands of them, and they were pretty much all great. There were some duds, but again, you get three of the best in a match like TLC. Phenomenal.
The first TLC.
Yeah, the first one, the first one.
TLC. They had like a mock run because they had the triangle ladder match months before, but this was the first official TLC. As Edge and Christian called it, the Tender Love and Care match of 2000.
So good.
Well done, yes. Very good.
No, I remember. So I have a funny story about this. Like I can remember fucking when I was in school, and like I had got like I made a deal with my parents. Like if I had aced a book report or some shit like that, I was like I go get the pay-per-view and stuff for SummerSlam that year. And like pretty much, I think it was fucking Catcher in the Rye or something. I'd do a book report on, and I just cliff note the shit out of that and got like an A. And I was like, "Yep, I'm watching SummerSlam 2000." So fuck yeah, let's go. But no, seriously, dude, this match is awesome, and there's some great ladder matches throughout the history of SummerSlam as well. So
absolutely,
yes.
Yeah,
and it's so good that
fucking
it's so good that TLC and this SummerSlam in 2000 was so good because WrestleMania in 2000 was hot garbage.
It was a hot. Oh man!
With the exception of the ladder match there between the Dudleys and Christians and the Hardys.
Yeah, that's the only good one.
Or the
yes, that is true. But you also have to remember that WrestleMania had one singles match, and it was Terry Runnels versus the Cat in a stink face match.
Oh, the 2000 WrestleMania 2000.
Oh my gosh!
point.
Only thing worse than
One
it's
for
probably 9.
brawl.
We
That
know
matter-
where.
Walk out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah, no-
it just
No
got real.
argument here.
No argument with me.
Nope.
All right, Chrissy, what is your 9th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
You mean
8.
Or 8?
Eight.
My bad.
Number
Yeah,
8.
shit. I'm all. Yeah.
See, this is what
I'm
happens.
sorry.
I know.
Lose
We're
It
track.
off the
happens.
rails.
It's live. It's
Off the
live. We're
rails.
live.
I'm so
We're live,
sorry.
pal.
2013 Punk versus Lesnar is my 8.
Oh,
Everyone
I'm with
immediately-
you. I got number 8 for that as well.
Oh,
You got
We're
an
here
8?
on that.
Thank you. Oh my god, I like this
See?
group. This is a
We're
good
syncing
setup.
up. About an hour and a half in the show, but we're syncing up. It's all good.
And
There you
it's,
go.
it's
Yeah.
the character work. It's the character work for me. I will, as Pat knows, actually, Pat and I's friendship started off when there was a rivalry on TikTok, and he became my manager. He became my Wiseman, and I love a good manager character. And Paul Heyman is my holy grail when it comes to that. And the character work that he pulled off throughout that match of abandoning Punk, taking Brock's side, pulling the chair out of Punk's hands, it's those little character beats that add to a match that was already an incredible match. Punk, no matter what anyone chooses to say about him, I may not always agree with what Phil Brooks does. I love CM Punk. Those are two completely different things to me. Sometimes
Well
it
said.
has to be.
Well said.
But Brock Lesnar and Punk did an amazing match that night. Paul Heyman was just the cherry on the cake. I have no other notes. It was just a solid match, honestly.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
No argument here. I'm full agreement with you.
I feel like, too, honestly, out of all Lesnar's matches, I think for me personally, that's probably my most enjoyable SummerSlam match of Lesnar's was against Punk at that year. That's a damn good matchup. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, Pat, I'm going to come to you, my friend. What is your 8th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
For number 8, also a match that involves Paul Heyman, I have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, 2022 Last Man Standing match.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay. That was really good.
I think one of the at least in the circle of friends that I run with, I am one of the very few people that was a complete 100%. There was no deterrent supporter of Roman Reigns through his entire title run. His entire run. I threw up the ones every day. I just was. This match was so. It's such beautiful chaos. It's so
great way
from
to explain it.
The tractor spot to the piling everything on top of Lesnar to Roman doing the comedic Charlie Chaplin tumble out of the ring, and even in the beginning the mic catch from Roman with the wink in the beginning, And they asked. I remember Logan Paul asking about it on his podcast, and they asked Roman about it, and Roman's only answer was, "You boys got hands." Like that's just all he had to say about it.
There
it is. It was just one of those things that like you didn't think all of it was gonna happen, and then like when the tractor came out, I really thought, I was like, "There's no way he lifts the ring, right? Like he's not gonna jump off the top of the back row, is he?" Like, and he did all of it, and I was like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm sold. Everything I needed to see happened, and I'm all for it." So yeah, that is my number 8, Roman versus Brock, 2022.
That's a good one, man.
Great one.
One thing I would say about that too is like, I remember going into that SummerSlam, and that was the main event. I was like, oh fuck, Lesnar and Reigns again. Here we go. But that freaking surprised the hell out of everybody how good that match was. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's a solid.
This is one of those surprisingly good matches that you never expect that it's going to be a surprisingly good match, because you watch Brock and Roman many times, but this is kind of like just hit you like out of nowhere. So that was really cool. That was a really awesome match.
Yeah. All right, Joe, what is your 8th favorite SummerSlam match?
I've realized that I don't think anybody. This probably should be higher, and I'm sorry that I said this solo. Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Edge, 08 SummerSlam.
Okay.
That match to me was like Wyatt, like Edge is he's unstoppable. Like there's nothing. Obviously, Taker has his legacy. All right, this is like when he's like when he's like no longer like 315, 305. He's like 299 now, cut up, ripped up, whatever. But Edge, he didn't gone through it. Like he done been through some stuff. Like he got like a whole gang now. He married to Vicky on and off. Been through some pain or whatever. And they just beat the hell out of each other. And I think at one point, didn't Edge get thrown through the ring at one point, like all the way?
Yes, he gets sent to he gets sent to literal Christian hell. He gets sent to the ring and set on fire.
Literal hell. Cinema, baby. Yeah. That's beautiful. And I think that match for its time was underappreciated. When we got to be like a little bit older and watch more of it, watching how Edge got more and more violent just to be able to beat this guy that he struggled beating. Watching the Undertaker get frustrated, and not in the frustration where like I can't beat this guy, but the frustration like he won't stay down type thing. It's a good match. I love it. 08.
Yeah, Edge takes the best stacked table spots. He takes the chokeslam in that match. He took an AA from Cena. Like I think like whenever he goes into some to any kind of like no disqualification match, Hell in a Cell, anything like, he's like, you know what? Let's put two tables together on top of each other and just throw them through it. Like that'll be good.
Yeah.
Two's fine. Yeah. Perfect match. Very much.
All right, we're moving on here. Now we're at number 7. I'm going to come to you, Chrissy. What's your 7th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
These two gentlemen have been very highly featured on everyone's list up to this point, obviously, so they're both incredibly talented. It's 2003 Angle versus Lesnar.
Nice.
Ooh,
that's a very, very solid.
Dirty, gritty, matte wrestling, strategic wrestling. Like you want a wrestling match, that's a wrestling match.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is, I think, at the point where like Kurt was kind of coming into his bag in terms of storytelling, like his character work, things of that nature. But that man could have worked his entire career with duct tape over his mouth, and it would have been just the same because his in-ring work is unparalleled. And a young 2003 Brock Lesnar with Angle, it was magic. It's magic. I could watch that match on mute, and it would be just as good because that's how much like aura they gave through the physicality of everything, their movements, the ways that they chose to stop and start, even their facial expressions towards camera. A lot of people forget that wrestling is not just a sport. It is a lot of theatrics. It's television. It's media. You have to ham it up to the camera. And both of them have, over the years, Kurt especially, really been able to just sell an emotion without having to speak. And that match was really the beginning of that for both of those gentlemen.
Yeah, dude, I could say it better myself.
Love it.
Absolutely. No spoilers. That match is higher on my list, but yeah, that match is incredible. I'll get into it more when I get to it, but yeah, great choice, Don.
Oh yeah. All right, Derek, what about you, buddy? What is your 7th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
All right, you know what I mentioned before we started this countdown, that the IC, the Intercontinental Championship, was definitely the championship of SummerSlam. This match is definitely no exception. From 1998, Triple H versus The Rock ladder match.
That is my number 7 as well.
Hell yeah!
I love that so much,
man. We're here, Wiseman. We're here.
Right there, bro. We're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can think of is that Brothers meme where it's like, did we just become best friends?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, man.
Because you're not going to get John Cena autograph on a samurai sword, so obviously.
All right.
Yeah, that match was great. Again, a lot, as Chrissy stated a minute ago, about character work. Just small little anecdotes of both The Rock and Hunter's character during the match. I mean, even down to the end of the match when Triple H pulls down the title and just the hair in his face, he's so exhausted that he went through this war. It's so great to see. And this is pre-Game Triple H, pre-Reign of Terror Triple H. You know, he was still wearing trunks or pants at the time. Like this was the making of two new stars. This was WWF at the time looking at these two and being like, these two are going to be flagship characters on this programming for the next 10 years plus to come. And I feel like this was kind of the lighting of the match to the push of The Rock and Triple H, because at the time they were both, Triple H was leading DX, The Rock with the Nation, and it was absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's
Love
great.
it. That's great. I love that.
That's the
Yeah,
awesome.
it's insane to think the trajectory of where these two guys went after this match and this rivalry, man. Like from '98.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better. That's a true definition of an all-time classic, especially for SummerSlam. All right, Joe, what about you, buddy? What is your number 7 favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
MJ already said it. It was Shawn Michaels and Triple H at the unsanctioned match when Shawn Michaels came back in jeans and a Philippians 413 wife beater on a little
And cowboy
stage.
boots. Don't forget the cowboy boots.
They had listen, and the cowboy boots. Listen. That entrance, he couldn't even do the same. He didn't even dance when he walked out. Okay, he bowed his knee and prayed, and they used 2 confetti guns, and they just shot him because they forgot what his entrance was going to be like because they found the Lord. Okay, Shawn Michaels was supposed to come back, baby. That happened. Okay,
Oh man.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you, MJ. I get it. It's okay. But Shawn Michaels, when he left, he came back in spots, and it was like, when's he gonna wrestle again? Like I don't know if y'all remember, he came back in the brown commissioner suit all the time with the brown ass suit and the brown wingtip.
Yeah.
All the time.
He joined the NWO first, huh?
Oh, come on.
And he had a little beret.
He had the Kangol hat. He had the Samuel L. Jackson Kangol hat.
It's a Kangol.
Talk about that. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
don't disrespect LL Cool J's favorite hat.
Yeah, how dare you? What's wrong with you? First off, his hair was short. He cut his hair. All right. He found the Lord. He won the match and kissed Earl Hebner on the cheek. Okay. And he won by a roller. He didn't even it's cinema, baby. That is the made-for-TV movie that we are not looking at right now. So
Heartbreak and triumph with Shawn Michaels.
Watch this. The fact that it's 11 breaks my heart on some people's lists. It should be 7. It is top 7. It is top 7. There's no discussion we have on this.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real with you, dude. I got it higher on my list, and I'm not even a Sean guy, but
I got it higher on mine.
I have it higher on mine as well.
So
That's really cool.
You know when you're like a kid and you're at your grandparents' house and you get in trouble and they like start just digging into you?
I think
that's what I feel like Joe just did to me, and now I feel.
I'm sorry.
He's not.
I feel like
he's just disappointed.
Mike, yeah, he's not mad. He's just disappointed.
I'm not.
Yeah.
He's
like, I'm not mad at you, son. I'm just
That is the most
disappointed.
90s sitcom thing to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Cue the '90s music meme. whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Play the Full House theme song right now. Play the Full House.
Yeah.
Well,
When you find out,
I felt like I was Eric Foreman getting yelled at by Red. That was
well, he didn't tell you
Oh,
about the
God.
ass, at least there's that. Or talk about him putting his foot up your ass. But.
yeah, I was waiting for it.
that wasn't necessary.
Well, we've
I was
talked
waiting for a
about.
foot up the ass so I can say you can't because I'm sitting.
Oh,
We got one more. I think we've met our quota of wheelchair jokes for the night, but that's okay.
yeah, I think we already did.
We're not even
Yeah.
halfway through the list. We're not even
Oh,
five yet.
shit.
Half is
No.
done.
I mean, we could roll out a few more.
No.
Well, for me, my number 7 list. We've talked about some amazing matches so far on our list, and there's been some important matches in the history of pro wrestling. Some incredible title matches, but this match, I mean, in my opinion, with what was on the line, transcends them all because we're talking about a match for the custody of a child. That's right.
Oh my
Number
God.
7, Rey Mysterio against Eddie Guerrero for the custody of Dominic from SummerSlam 05.
That was a good one. Good one. Good one. Well done.
This was almost on my list, but Vicky fucked up the finish.
But that's what I love
Where the
about it.
fuck
Where
is
Eddie's
Vicky?
Oh, God. The finish.
And I can't.
Oh my God.
And just the looking over to young dirty Dom, and he's so innocent. And who would have thunk, like 20 years later, he's got two of the most gorgeous women in all of professional wrestling fighting over his affections. And
How does
yet
he do it?
he had
That
some of the
terrible
greatest
mullet.
wrestlers of all time fighting over the like. What? There's just something magical about Dirty Dom. Oh, geez, Nails versus Virgil.
No, Nails versus Virgil. Oh no!
I'm pouring my heart out about the custody of a child on the line, and you're talking about motherfucking Nails versus Virgil.
Oh my god!
So
what are we doing?
So I actually have a funny Dominic Mysterio story. It was probably around this time, maybe the year prior. Well, I was living in El Paso, Texas at the time, and my dad was playing on like a military company softball team, and he was coming home from a game one day, and he came to the house, and he literally grabbed me and my sister. He was like, "There's a bunch of wrestlers down the street at this putt-putt golf. Let's go meet all of them." They were going to have a SmackDown the following night, so they were just kind of having a day off, relaxing at this putt-putt golf that was down the street from my house. And so we went. I got to meet John Cena, Farouk and Bradshaw, Michael Cole, the Basham brothers, and Rey Mysterio. And I was in like 5th grade at the time. Seeing Rey Mysterio unmasked, I was like, this is weird. But anyway, we hung out with them for a while. We left out with them, and my dad used to have a Florida State Seminoles decal on the back of his truck, which is the alumni of Farouk, Ron Simmons. So my dad, Farouk, and JBL sat on the bed of my family truck, drinking beer for a little bit and talking. And Rey Mysterio got a phone call on his flip phone at the time. That's how long ago it was. And you could hear him kind of talking for a minute and kind of seeming confused. And then he turned to me and my sister, who's 2 years older than I am, and he said, do either of y'all know anything about fractions? And I've always been terrible at math. So I was like, I don't. But my sister might, and my older sister was like, yeah, I kind of do. And he's like, oh, okay. My son's having some trouble with his homework. Do you think you could give him a hand?
Holy
and
shit!
My sister, of course, said yes. And so Rey Mysterio handed my sister his phone, and my sister helped a young Dominic Mysterio with his fractions homework.
That is fucking insane and amazing.
Fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah. And also in a weird kind of turn of events, Oscar and Dominic's actual last name is Gutierrez, which is my last name. So it was kind of a weird pivot. I was like, hey, so if I ever meet Dom or Ray, I want to tell them that story because I doubt they remember it or any of them remember. But yeah. So yeah. My sister helped a young Dominic Mysterio with his math homework. Probably around the time he was, his dads were fighting for custody of him.
Wow. What if I was like, oh yeah, you got me through high school, bro. I appreciate you. Like,
yeah, right?
I'd be like, hey, introduce me to Liv Morgan. Like, that's all it's going to be.
It's like, yeah, thanks. Now I'm going to go have some cake. But anyways, that is amazing, my friend. That is cool as shit. Wow. All right. Mike, what is your 7th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
2016, John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Wonderful. That's good. That's a good one.
It's just
great match.
They all had they had phenomenal matches that whole rivalry, but that match is top tier, top of the list of mine for that rivalry. And that's when I hate to say it, AJ, I feel like has kind of lost a little bit of his luster in WWE for the last couple of years. And that was like top of like AJ was the face of SmackDown. So
AJ Styles, the man, what was it he used to say? Like
the house that AJ Styles built.
The house that AJ Styles built. Yeah.
I was like, I feel like The Rock might have something to say about that, but okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we're talking different eras, right? So,
for that, someone needs to that meme that's going around of The Rock and just with him like that, and that's when I told AJ he could be the house that AJ Styles.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's, oh my God.
Yeah, somebody needs to do that. I wholeheartedly agree.
We gotta get Richie.
Oh yeah.
All right. Was it?
Oh no, I thought you said Pat.
Oh, my bad. All right, so we're moving on here now to number 6. Derrick, what is your 6th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
All right, my number 6 match, best match, 2013 WWE Championship, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena.
Yep.
No arguments here. It's a very solid choice.
It's the beginning, really, the true kickoff of Daniel Bryan ascending to the main event level, man. The Yes movement is really, truly like beginning here. I mean,
the Yes movement was on fire. Yeah.
And I remember too, Cena was working that match hurt too, man. He had that like nasty ass
elbow injury. Yep.
Yeah. Had basically a ping pong ball in his elbow.
Dude.
Yeah, man. That was oof. Yeah, it was rough.
That's a good one, bro. That's a solid one, though.
That is a good, solid choice.
Yep, I can't disagree with that, man. All right, Pat, what do you got number 6 on your list?
So before I give my pick, I just, as a preference, because it goes into why I chose this as my number 6. I love moments in wrestling that take your breath away, almost in a way that seems uncomfortable.
I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. Oh, okay. That's fine.
Speaking of uncomfortable.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Which clothes on? Stop that.
Anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Moments that kind
we are at an hour and 50 and we got half the list left. We gotta focus.
Oh, sorry.
Shit, it's like SummerSlam in Brooklyn for you all over again, man.
There it is.
I'm gonna go to sleep at 3 in the morning.
Anyway, moments that like leave you in shock and awe, just kind of like that. It takes you to that place where you kind of feel a guttural feeling in your stomach. So because of that, my number 6 choice is 2016 Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton.
Ooh.
Okay.
It is a great match. It's a little slower paced than I remember. I actually went back and rewatched it recently. It's a little slower than I remember, but Randy is doing everything he can to give everything to Brock. Brock really put his working shoes on for this one. But the finish of this match, and for anyone who doesn't remember, this is when Brock busted Randy open hard way.
Oh, yeah.
And literally caved in his skull.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I vividly remember watching this pay-per-view, and the final shot is Orton just laying on his side, literally just like someone like just barely turned on the faucet, just leaking
dripping
blood. And I'm like, I was watching it like, oh my God, I'm watching a man die. Like it, and it's so, again, it just gives, again, Brock has turned in some lazy matches at this point, and it's such an affirmation to Brock being the monster that he should have been all of the time. And it's such a something that sticks in my mind. I hate to say an earwig because I saw it visually, but it's just one that sticks out to me. So yeah, that is my number 6 choice.
I love that choice, man. That's a great
good one. Good one. Nicely done.
All right, Joe. What about you, my friend? What is your number 6 favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
1992, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, WWE.
Ooh.
You mean 94?
94, my bad. I'm so sorry. 94. I'm sorry.
You're all good, bro.
That's all good. Hey, we're with you. We got you.
We got you.
1994 cage match, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart.
That was the sleeper of a classic, to my opinion. Very sleeper.
And it would have been better. Okay, I rewatched it today, and I realized it would have been better if Jim the Anvil Neidhart could just stay on track with what he's saying. He got so wound up.
He was
my goodness.
I love that's one of my favorite Neidhart moments because it's so unscripted.
My goodness.
The fact that he's blabbering. Blah, blah, blah. You get him in that goddamn ring. It's just like, holy shit. He's gonna come to like my dad's barbecue and beat my ass and beat my dad's ass.
What I love so much about that match is, like, we've seen cage matches galore over the years in wrestling, and that was like one of the first times that like I saw a match that like the bell rang and instantly both of them were like, just get out as fast as possible, and they were both just in a sprint as fast as and they kept stopping each other. But that was like, no, you don't have to necessarily beat them up. As long as you're faster than them to the door, you're fine. Like, and
There you
so
go.
it was so, again, like as I said earlier, it's beautiful chaos. They're just going at each other. And say what you want about Jimmy and Jay, Undertaker and Kane, Brett and Owen's brother versus brother rivalry is untouched and will remain untouched for the history of wrestling.
Yes.
Well said, my man. Well said.
I personally have more thoughts on this, but I'm going to save it because, spoiler alert, it's higher on my list. So, but
Okay.
yeah, it's a solid one to have. Well, so for me, my number 6 match, in my opinion, and I will stand on this mountain. Not only is this the greatest opening match of a SummerSlam, to me, this is the greatest opening match of any pay-per-view I have ever seen. I'm going all the way back to 2002, the matchup between Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle.
Oh,
fucking from bell to bell, they
that
don't
is bell to
fucking
bell.
stop.
Nice.
This is just insane. It's bonkers. It's like crazy. I mean, it's only actually a 10-minute match, but it made it feel like it was a fucking 30-minute match.
Man,
It's
it
just
made it feel
so
like an
damn
epic.
good, dude.
That's was that black tights Kurt Angle, or was it still like
No, that's what red and white pinstripes.
Red, white
Kurt Angle.
stripe. Pinstripe, Kurt Angle. Pinstripe.
Yeah.
That was right before Team Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was like peak Angle in my opinion. Like I love the stuff he was doing in 01, 02, 03. Like it was so fucking good. And putting him in there against Rey Mysterio and what old Rey Mysterio could do. Like this was just like the perfect match to like kick off any show, man. And they like
this was the pay-per-view, the WWE pay-per-view debut of Rey Mysterio. He had fought on SmackDown the week before. This was his pay-per-view debut.
Yeah. What a debut. I mean, holy shit, man. Like, and they you couldn't put him against anybody better than like Kurt Angle, man. So for
Absolutely.
me,
Yeah,
it's
man.
my number 6 match on my list.
Really dope. Yes.
All right, Mike, what is your 6th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
We've said it before, Triple H versus The Rock for the IC title, the ladder match. Just one of the one of my favorite ladder matches of all time.
Yeah.
My favorite ladder match of all time I'm going to be talking about later.
I hope it's Eddie and Ray. No, you said it wasn't even on your list, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. All right, it's all good. I just want to give all the love to Dom, man. But anyways, all right, Chrissy, what is the number 6 match on your list?
Joe.
Huh?
I love you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Don't you do it.
Oh, heart.
Don't you do
it.
I love you.
We can move on to the next one. Honestly, he said all the stuff. Honestly,
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. What'd you say it was?
It's Brett versus Owen. It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same as Joe's.
Okay.
For the same reason, honestly. And honestly, I also never thought about it from the aspect that Pat brought up, that this is one of the few matches where the rule was in place and the people in the match followed the rule.
Yeah, they gotta leave the ring.
You just gotta get out. Because I've seen so many cage matches where the rule is always kind of implied. Like, you don't have to pin them. You just have to get out of the cage. And then it's 10 minutes of chain wrestling. And I'm like, is no one going for the door? Or is it just me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for both of the exact reasons that my fellow familiar brethren have mentioned, it is also my number 6.
All right. Well, let's now break into the top 5. I'm coming to you, Pat. What is your 5th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
So I flip-flop between 5 and 4. But
your audio.
You're muted.
Your audio.
Or something went out on him.
Something went out. Yeah.
I thought I finally went crazy and then
I'm
the
like,
first sign.
so oh no, he froze.
Am I back?
Good.
Am I back?
Yeah, we
good.
Okay.
Good.
So my pick for number 5, it's already been talked about, is TLC 1 from SummerSlam 2000. It is first SummerSlam match. It is, as a kid who, wanted to be Jeff Hardy and was doing swantons off his dresser onto pillows on his bed, it was great. And so, yeah, for that reason alone, again, just 3 of the best tag teams to ever do it, all going head to head with each other. I was all for it. So yeah, my number 5, TLC won in 2000.
Great.
Nice. All right.
Great. Yes.
All right. Joe.
Flopping over, Mike is on.
Yeah,
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, Mike? Joe, what about you, buddy? What is your 5th favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
Okay, here we go. It's gonna be a lot of anger.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Hey, guys, listen. I respectfully think this is number 5, and I apologize for anyone who thinks otherwise. 95, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon ladder match.
Bro.
Okay.
That was my number 5 too.
Also,
Okay.
number 5 too.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Number 5
Okay.
too?
Oh,
4.
I thought that would be top 3. I thought that would be top 3.
Great job, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Is
Shawn,
this the most you've had at once?
I think, yeah. This is crazy.
Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon have the best chemistry in ring at that time in the 90s. And the thing of it is that when they did it at like WrestleMania, it was one thing, but then when they did a SummerSlam with Shawn is a bit more athletic, a bit more over now.
It's
Razor's
way better than the WrestleMania one.
Way better. Way better. Yeah.
Hot take, and I was going to go there. I truly think the sequel actually is better than the first one, as much as I love the
Oh,
first
absolutely.
one.
I love the first
Oh,
one.
yeah,
The
definitely.
second one,
100%.
because Shawn's
I think I was gonna say, I just think with the second one they were a lot more comfortable because they had already done it once before. So they're like, all right, we've done this. Let's just throw caution to the wind and see what happens.
Yeah.
all gas, no brakes.
Cool.
Shawn was all gas, no brakes.
Love it.
The physicality of this one compared to the first one, it's like, honestly, the first one doesn't hold a candle as far as the physicality. I mean, they just beat the holy hell out of each other, and that poor ladder too gets the fuck beat out of it.
And this is back when they were still using like ladders from Home Depot. Like they were just ladders. Yeah.
The orange
think of
ladders.
this. Think
The
of
old
this.
school orange ladders.
Oh yeah, they were so good. But no, seriously,
Yeah.
look at this. Shawn Michaels throws a fucking super kick off the fucking ladder at the top of the ladder to Razor, like from ladder. That's insane.
That's wild.
Like,
That,
and I'm
that's
sorry,
the kiss right there.
I'm not trying to piss on current wrestling or anything, but I don't see 10 fucking referees around the ring holding the damn ladders for. I mean, this shit was like, damn,
You
that
said
was
it.
scary. So, yeah, I love that match. And can I just say this on that match too? A guilty pleasure of mine, and I don't think anybody in the world's probably going to agree with me this, but I loved Doc Hendricks on commentary, or Michael Hayes. Like,
Oh,
I know
no, I
I'm
love
probably the
Michael
only
Hayes.
person that thinks that, but like, just like the chicken shit heel stuff he was like talking about during this match, I actually
Oh, yeah.
loved.
Yeah, I messed with that. No, I messed with that.
I like it too.
I'm with you.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
So let's see. Joe, Chrissy, did you say it too, Mike? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
I think you said it
insane,
before.
man. Damn. It's like
you
I
got
think
3 and 4 in the same
the
episode.
network was like, okay, you guys gotta
Yeah.
get sped up. So yeah, y'all gonna.
Hell yeah.
We had to
Fed
wrap
up.
it up.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Here on Cole TV, we do whatever the fuck we want. So it's all good.
All right.
All right. Now we've broken into the top 5. Let us move.
Wait, I don't think you got Derek yet.
Oh, Derek.
I
I'm sorry.
got-
I'm sorry. I'm
That's,
sorry.
that,
buddy.
that's cool. That's cool.
I just got
That's
so
cool.
excited about Shawn and Razor, but yeah.
It's all right. It's all good. All right. My number 5 has already been mentioned. The WWE Championship 2003, Angle and Lesnar.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we have spoken.
Okay.
Yeah. Great matchup, man. Great matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So now we're moving on to 4, and I think I'm to you now, Pat. I've lost track, honestly.
No, it was just me. It's Joe now.
Okay. Oh, Joe. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, number 4.
All right. So look, there's a spot. Somebody already said it. It's John Cena versus Daniel Bryan 2013. Somebody already said it. There's a spot in this match where Daniel Bryan does a German suplex off the top rope, but his
Top
legs
rope. Yeah.
are locked on the ropes.
Yeah.
He does this thing where he goes like,
And he just raises up.
He raises
And
up
it
like
was
a
dope.
front. Now look,
Yes.
the rest of the match was great, and yes, John Cena wrestled with a torn tricep. I get that. That's awesome. That one part in that match makes it number 4 because that's just something that's just unbelievably just thought.
Man, Daniel had crazy core strength throughout that match. I tell you. He was awesome.
He beat the crap out of him. He beat the
He did.
crap out of him. That whole
Yeah.
John Cena
Oh,
had
yeah.
one arm. That whole wrestle, and he beat the crap out of him. They beat the crap out of each other. That was the first time I've seen someone like with a smaller size really have a stronger like striking style with John Cena, and John Cena be like, "I'm cool with that. Let's just keep doing that." You know what I mean? So that is my number 4 pick, John Cena versus
The only thing that I don't like about that match, and it has nothing to do with the match in and of itself, but that match is when Daniel Bryan introduced the Psycho Knee, and they in the WWE in the WWE Topps trading card series, I believe it was, they like clipped that like moment of him running and like made it like a series card, but because at the time they were running with the B plus or Daniel Bryan being a B plus player, they clipped it, and the name of the move on the bottom was the Knee Plus, and it made me so angry.
The Knee Plus. Okay.
I don't even remember them calling that. Wow.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's dumb. Yeah. Huh. Oh. All right. Well, for me, we've talked about it a lot here tonight. I'm gonna finally give it its flowers. Number 4, Shawn Michaels, Triple H from SummerSlam 02. Like you all know, like I'm a Brett guy, so I wasn't a huge Shawn guy, but I gotta admit, man, I'm a wrestling fan at heart, and I was just intrigued as hell to see Shawn Michaels get back in the ring, especially after what was it, a 4-year layoff? And like,
I think it was 4 years. I think
matchup, a no holds barred matchup, the story that they told, and just like the physicality of this too. It's just like I don't care. You love the man, hate the man, whatever. I don't think I've ever seen a wrestler who has been that gone far of a layoff, and literally it's like getting back on a bicycle for him. It's insane. Like
Funny
what
thing is,
Shawn
he
Michaels.
wrestled twice in that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that's true. He wrestled in Texas. Yeah, but the thing is, not a high profile matchup like this, though.
I know. I'm just saying. He did wrestle for his own company.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was.
Don't take this away from us, Mike. You already put it at number 11.
And it probably wasn't born again Shawn, so let's just say that. But and then the aftermath too, with like that. And the call from Jim Ross too. My God, like Jim Ross.
Oh yeah.
You're no good son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The peak heel, like the most evil man on the face of planet. Lex Luthor and Thanos combined. Fucking Triple H, man.
He was so strong. He couldn't put his arms down. His arms were always like this all the time because he just went stupid with the weights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that pop from the kip up.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Mike. What you got number 4 on your list?
This is where I know a lot of old heads are probably going to be pissed at me because a lot of people have this as a number 1, and it's Bret Hart versus British Bulldog in '92 at Wembley.
That's okay.
I got no problem with that. It's top 5, so I got no problem with that.
Okay with that.
It's in top 5.
It's top 5. No, it's top 5. Okay, all right.
Yep. I ain't mad at it. I mean, I've got it. I've got it a little bit higher, but yeah, I ain't mad.
Yeah,
at it.
same. But hey, it's top 5, so I'm down for that.
Yeah, but what can be said about that match? It's just phenomenal from head to toe. You know, brother-in-laws fighting for that IC title again. The IC title was just great at SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
Now, being the Bret Hart aficionado that you are, OG, I've heard this, and I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's been factually proven or not, but I heard the British Bulldog was on an all-night crack bender the night before and had to be coached the entire match by Bret.
That is true. Yeah. Just think about that and how good that match was, and that just shows you the greatness of Bret Hart, man. To get a masterpiece like that.
It was.
Davey, hold on. Davey, I was like, Davey, roll up.
Yeah.
I heard that years past, and I was like, "There's no way, really? There's no way that was true."
No, that match was 110% like all Bret, man. He made the Bulldog look like $1 million. So I know this is the Bulldog. Love the Bulldog, like Great British Bulldog, but yeah. So all right, Chrissy, what you got on number 4 on your list?
Straight Edge Society versus the drug addict himself, Jeff Hardy, 2009.
Oh, okay. I was
okay.
so confused there for a minute because I thought you were going to say Straight Edge Society against the Big Show. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? I was so confused there. But anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, CM Punk and Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, that was a highly underrated rivalry still to this day. I will never forget the promo that Punk cut on Jeff. I forget the name of the chemical itself, but it was him holding up eye drops to Jeff. I have to get this using a prescription. I will never forget that promo.
Okay.
I still remember when that was the promo of the rivalry when CM Punk came out dressed as Hardy, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I legitimately,
wild rivalry.
That
This
is
was a
probably
wild
one of the most goated, like goated, like god tiered moments for Punk for me, where when Punk's, it's like, it's like pizza. Like there's no such thing as bad pizza, but dear God, like when Punk is good, he's fucking almost perfect. Like it's crazy, especially on the mic. And I really feel like Straight Edge Society Punk in particular was probably the best Punk we ever got on the mic.
Yeah.
And
that's 100% fair.
That's what Pipe Bomb Punk, like Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt Punk, really close behind. But Straight Edge Society Punk was another kind of an animal, honestly. He
was.
Jeff Hardy is absolutely amazing, and I really do feel like that rivalry just does not get the flowers that it deserves. That's why it's my number 4.
Yeah, it's great. What I love so much about that rivalry is while CM Punk was the detestable heel that we all know that CM Punk can be, when you really look into the deep core of it, like CM Punk was kind of right. Like he's like, dude, like be sober. Like he took it to an extreme, but he still was like, if you didn't do the things that you did, you would be so much better. You would be this, you that. So it's very, very like you look at it from both sides. At least now that I'm older, I do. It's like, yeah, he was being a dick about it, but he kind of had a point. Like he really did.
Yeah. Very much facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just look at. I hate to say this, but look at Jeff Hardy's track record. I mean,
you'll get no arguments out of me here, OG. I am a huge proprietor, and again, I'm glad Joe's here for being Hot Tech Wrestling. I have always thought that Matt Hardy is better than Jeff Hardy.
Give me P1 all day, every day. I'm sorry, but yes.
P1 Matt Hardy.
P1 baby.
P1 is amazing.
He can smack a tornado.
Yeah.
P1.
Yeah.
P1 is absolutely wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Derrick, what is your 4th favorite match of SummerSlam of all time?
All right, my number 4 best SummerSlam match. Probably already been talked about it already. 2002 Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Again, it's just it's such a good match. Like it's such a solid choice.
Not like a huge story going into it. It was just like, let's just put these 2 awesome wrestlers against each other, and they made magic.
They sure did, and they worry about two contrasting styles, how they coincide together. But this match is just throw all the critics out of the way and let them do their thing, and that was great.
Yeah, it was.
For all you young kiddos out there, this is the true definition of a banger. God, I'm showing my age. Anyways, Pat, what do you got at number 4 on your list, buddy?
Number 4, it has been talked about. My number 4 is AJ Styles versus John Cena in 2016. I firmly believe from 2014 to 2017-ish, there was not a better worker in the wrestling business than AJ Styles. You could literally have him wrestle a broomstick and he would pull out a 5-star class. And he was so good at what he did. And, coming off of, this was his first, full calendar year in the WWE, coming off of the Bullet Club things he did in Japan, everything like that. It was kind of going back to what Christy said earlier. They didn't WWE AJ Styles. They're like, all right, everyone says you're the best. We're going to put you against our top guy. Let's see what you got. And he went out and delivered in spades. So Yeah, for that reason, my number 4, AJ Styles versus John Cena, 2016.
Very good.
Solid, dude. All right, Joe, what about you, buddy? What is your number 4 favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
Did I say Cena versus Daniel Bryan already?
Oh, did we do? God,
Yeah,
I'm so
he was first.
You did. I'm so over the place.
Okay.
Goddamn. Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
So now, now we're moving
He's
on.
not
to
used
number
to going for this.
I'm
long.
not. I am okay. I'm about to be 40, and like this is way past my bedtime. So I already had my Cracker Barrel like early bird dinner. So
Yeah,
I'm old as fuck, Anyways, all right. So number 3 for me. This may surprise some people that it's this on my list, but it's a great match. It's one of the definitive like main events of SummerSlam's history. And it's the first time the IC title went put up for grabs in the main event. I'm going with Wembley too. I'm gonna put it at number 3 on my list with Bulldog and Brett. Just a great match. I mean, the finish of this is amazing. Like, and Bulldog getting his moment. But to me, you have this classic definition of going over, and getting over. But like to me, this was the match. I mean, yes, Bulldog gets his moment, but this is the match that showed the rest of the world, and this is when the WWF realized that's our guy. Bret Hart's our guy. He can be the next WWF champion, and I think this is the match that really showed the world that. So that's my number 3 matchup on my list. What about you, Mike? What's number 3 for you?
Number 3, SummerSlam 2000, a 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho.
That's mine. That's
Solid match. Solid match.
No one remembers that match. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I think about
Phenomenal. All bell to bell. Some of the best pro wrestling I've ever watched in a WWE ring. I'm so happy someone had that list and even knows that match.
Sheesh.
I bring that match up all the time, and it's like, I never heard of it.
Yeah, go watch that match. Listen.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely watch that match. It's very dope.
And anytime, like any 2 out of 3 falls match is great, but when you get like 2 great technicians like those guys as well, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mad classic all day.
Absolutely. It was beautiful. It was beautifully violent and also technically sound. And in the same notion, people forget how good that Jericho was during that time in 2000. They forget how deep
forget how
good
the Wall was.
Yeah. Benoit, like, even though he's got like extremely staying name, Benoit at that time in the WWE,
top tier,
always. It's like that match got to be like 15-20 minutes of just them just going and not stop. That's a great fucking match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right, Chrissy, what about you? What is your number 3 favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
My number 3 has been said before. It's Angle Mysterio 2002, and we've said as many accolades as we could say about this match, but the one thing I will add to it to make sure that we can keep moving forward is a lot of people forget that this is Ray's first pay-per-view match on WWE television. And for this to be the top match on the card, the first match on the card, Ray's first pay-per-view match just in general, working officially for WWE, it's insane how crazy good Ray was. Great angle that was published at that time. And now people are surprised that Dom's good. That's when you live with the Hall of Famer, when your godfather is Conan, when you have this access, you are going to learn over time and you're going to grow and you're going to succeed. I'm not surprised that Dom is as good as he is right now. Dom has so much more to learn in ring, and the fact that he's as good as he is now is crazy. Give it 5 more years. I really feel like Dom is going to be on like a Randy Orton style kind of like shred. And it's going to be a pleasure to watch. And it started with the stock. It started with his father. And when you're that good, sometimes you're just that good. There's nothing else you can do. And Rey Mysterio is one of those gentlemen that he is and will always will be just that good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well said.
Facts. All right, Derek, what about you, buddy? What is number 3 on your list?
My number 3, I know it's probably been mentioned already. 1991 Intercontinental Championship, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect.
The blueprint.
That's all I can say. If you talk about a Matt classic, I highly recommend you see this match because everything about it, from bell to bell, is just straight. Chemistry between the two is just amazing. I mean, I can't say nothing bad about that match.
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you after the show because that's where it should have been in the first place. You put it at 12.
Okay. All right. We'll talk. We'll talk for sure.
Thank you, Derrick. Chrissy,
All right.
my office after the show is over.
Oh shit.
12.
All right. Pat, what do you got at number 3 on your list?
I won't hark on it too long because it's already been talked about a couple of times. My number 3 is Angle versus Brock in 2003.
Solid.
Top 5 match. Always.
Yeah, I love 01 to 03 Kurt. I think Brock and Kurt have amazing chemistry. This match is what led to the SmackDown Iron Man match that they had. And that was a very underrated classic. Nobody's seen it. Just again, we've spoken on it at nauseum at this point. But yeah, that's my number 3, Angle versus Brock.
Okay. All right. Joe, what have you got at 3 on your list?
I just said the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep,
the
yep,
2
yep.
out of 3 falls. Yep.
Yep, 2 out of 3 falls. All right, let's. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Number 2. All right, Mike or Chris. Or yeah, I meant Mike. God damn, I'm tired. All right, Mike. I know, man. Hey, I've been up since 5:30 this morning. I had a sick dog. I'm talking to you, Cash. Right over here by my side. He's doing better. So it's been a long day for Daddy. But anyways, nonetheless, Mike, what you got at number 2, buddy?
I have Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, 1991 for that IC title.
Hey,
yeah, put some respect on that.
Like it.
Put some
like
respect.
it.
Mm-hmm.
You put some respect on Dolph Ziggler Sr. versus Bret Hart.
I was there, man. We're here, Joe. We are so there.
You see this?
You do that.
Dad?
My lord.
I didn't even have it on mine, so you're fine.
Thank you, baby.
We'll get that movement.
I'm just happy he's not yelling at me anymore.
All right, Chrissy, who you got at number 2?
TLC 1, because what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, why is it not higher?
Okay.
Literally, it jettisoned 6 men into their major careers. It's not a 2-on-2 person match. It's literally Bubba and Devon. It is Christian and Edge. It is Matt and Jeff. This is the reason why we have the cruiserweight extreme style division that we have now, is because of these 6 gentlemen. We would have never had the division in the way that we did if it wasn't for this match. What the fuck do y'all mean it's not top 5 or top 3?
All right.
Okay. It was my top 5.
Wrestler's favorite wrestling match is this match.
It was in my top 5.
It's a great match, but to counter it, was there custody of a child on the line in that match? Was the custody of a living, breathing, I believe a 6-year-old at the time, on the line in that match?
With bleach blonde tips.
As they were wrestling,
a young man who half the time they went to him was playing fucking PlayStation Portable. Yep, now I'm really showing my age, but I'm just saying. All right.
There you go.
PSP was a thing, and it was a real thing.
It was a real
thing.
It was real, yeah.
I don't even know if it was PSP. It may have been just Game Boy. Jesus.
I still got the OG Game Boy, that old fucking the chroma key, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the green screen.
The green screen, the all gray green screen type. Yeah.
I only play Double Dragon.
I'm with you.
That's the only way you can play Double Dragon is on that Game Boy.
Shoot. I had Mario and Luigi Pinball on that OG Game Boy, and it was fire.
Oh, there's so many good.
Hey, you can't go wrong with that one.
Too. I had Super Mario Land on that Game Boy. Lord, the ADHD is showing with all of us.
I know. We're all over the fucking board.
We're all over the place. We're all over the gamut.
I was like,
So now we're talking video. No. Next time I'm learning the ropes. All right. Derrick, what do you got at 2?
I really had to think really long and hard on this one because I think I had 2 matches, and one I thought it was pretty cool, really dope ending and everything like that. but I had to go with this one because it was so good. And I'm going to pick 1995 ladder match, IC Championship, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon.
Yeah. I mean, we've
It's a
talked
very
about
solid
it tonight.
choice.
That's a good choice, bro.
Yes.
You're giving it its due flowers too, man. So
Yes, definitely.
okay, solid. All right, Pat, what you got too?
So this is a match that actually hasn't been talked about tonight.
Dear God.
Oh,
Okay.
And it is, in my opinion, one of the most slept on matches to ever exist in the world of pro wrestling. I love this match, and I'm ashamed that it didn't go longer, but it is one of my favorite matches of all time. It is 2003, the U.S. title match. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Tajiri, and Rhino.
That is a banger.
That is the
Wild.
definition
Underrated
of a
banger.
hidden gem. Yeah, that's
Underrated
fucking good.
banger.
It is such a good match. Yes, it is peak Eddie being the first WWE United States champion coming back from his firing. Benoit firing on all cylinders. Tajiri getting an incredible push at this time in the mid-card division. And Rhino just coming out and just being the man beast that he has been portrayed as in ECW. And it's a lot shorter than I remember. I believe it's only about 12 minutes, but it's from bell to bell. It's just go. And it's so good. I love it so much. And being a Latino, lived in El Paso for many, many years, Eddie Guerrero is one of my heroes. And so this match is, again, it's so good and it's so near and dear to me. So for my second favorite SummerSlam match of all time, it is this match, the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title in 2003.
I love that.
Awesome.
That's a good one. That is, I'm glad that made it that high on your list, dude. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's a great one, bro.
All right, Joe, what you got at number 2?
Somebody already said already, but I want to explain the premise of this before I actually get into the nitty gritty of this match. It is a top 5 match, okay? Because who the hell knew that John Felix Cena could wrestle in the first place, okay? It is winner take all white Seth Rollins in white and gold, okay? Versus John Cena in the turquoise and black cargos and the black and green, whatever shoes those are. We have no idea to this day what kind of shoes those are.
They're from Kmart. They're his own shoe from Kmart.
Oh,
off brand.
They're his own brand of shoe. No one knew that man could wrestle. By the way, guess who the F5? Both of them did. Okay,
both of them did. Yeah, sure. You're right. Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure
Did John Cena throw out a Hurricane Rana in this match?
There's a Hurricane Rana. There's there's an off the rope cutter. There's a slight like a razor's edge power bomb that's involved. An avalanche power bomb, I think they call it on PWG. That's right. Indie stuff in your face. Listen, baby, that is a great match. And the fact that some of y'all, was it you, Derek, that had it in the top 10? Oh, the blasphemy.
I know. I had him at number 10.
No, he had it at 10. No, Derek.
I got two words for you though. John Stewart.
Exactly.
John Stewart. That threw the whole 2 chunks for that.
Look. I'll tell you what, Joe. If on John Cena's retirement run, he faces Rollins and Trevor Noah comes in and gets a spot, then I'll move it up the list. I'll move it up the list.
Oh, come on, man.
Of the Daily Show again, so it might be John Stewart all over again.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. This is going to be a mess.
Everyone thought the match was going to be
That's why I blocked that match out of my memory. The John Stewart situation.
John Stewart ruined that match for everybody. Had that match been like a clean, like somebody wins or whatever, we wouldn't be talking about it the way we were talking about it now. Because that match, from start to finish, cinema. Perfect.
It was definitely.
Great
so
match.
I just have to comment on one thing. All right. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. So John Cena had a line of shoes at Kmart?
Yes, he did. It was his own brand. It was called the You Can't See Me. He had those black and green ones that he wore all of the time, and then he had one that was like a high top skate shoe that was red and white, and it had literally on the logo of the tongue. It was his whole hand thing.
I will be damned.
And they were, I remember them very specifically. They were like $15. They were, as someone who is a sneakerhead.
They would always be right next to the Shaquille shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were always right next to Shaq's. As someone who was a sneakerhead, that shoe was so absolute trash. It's even more of a feat that John Felix Anthony Cena managed to wrestle in them. So yeah, I guess props to him for that.
Wow, that's crazy. I did not realize that. I know one thing though, man. I could tear the fuck up out of like a Kmart sub sandwich, man, from the snack stand. God damn.
Wow, yeah. I miss
A slice of pizza
sandwiches,
and
man.
a slice of pizza and a fountain drink from the Kmart food store thing.
My God,
bro,
you got me going back.
Bro,
I feel nostalgic right now.
Speaking my language.
Y'all, the he's kicking in again.
Old.
We've talked video games. We've talked food. We've talked SummerSlam.
That sounds delicious. Jesus Christ. Is there Kmart out there by y'all? Don't have one.
No, man, there ain't no Kmart.
We have one. We have one.
We had one, and then it closed down, and now it's a U-Haul station.
Oh, Lord.
That's how mine is. Yeah,
we have one, and it looks more like a Goodwill than a Kmart. Like there's not really a whole lot in it.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Man. All right, so for me on my list, number 2, it's been talked about, but I kind of want to give my insight on it. I have the Bret Hart versus Owen Hart cage match from SummerSlam of 1994.
Nice.
You all made some valid points about this with it being like, okay, it's the one cage match where it's like the whole point is like I want to get out of the cage. But this is what I love about this with the psychology of this. Okay, first of all, the build for this all summer, the rivalry between Bret and Owen, sibling rivalry,
definitely
so fucking good. But what I love about it is it's like, okay, yeah, I could maim him, I could destroy him in a cage, but what's going to hurt my brother Bret more if I take his title? That is what I thought was just true chef's kiss. Cinema at its best. One of the greatest superplexes I've ever seen, and they do it so. It's awesome. Art. It is fucking art. That superplex that Bret delivers to Owen, man, and then the whole build of the cage to where it's like keep the family out of the cage and stuff. Like everything about this, like the Bret Hart Owen Hart food. Pat, you said it earlier, man. There is no brother versus brother rivalry that's ever going to come close to topping Bret versus Owen, man. It was just so damn good.
Yeah.
And this is really like the crescendo of that rivalry. So for me, I got Bret versus Owen from SummerSlam 94 at number 2. Well, you got Mike?
My number 1?
Number 2.
I already said my number 2.
Oh, shit.
You thought he was me.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're here. Now we're at the final here. The number 1. And Chrissy, I'll start with you. What is your number 1 match of SummerSlam history of all time?
Pat, you just want to speed this up because it's Hunter and Sean, guys.
Yes, it's HBK versus Shawn Michaels in 2002. It is the greatest SummerSlam match to ever exist, hands down, point blank. Period. I will hear no arguments about it. And if you want to talk about it later, you can put it in my suggestion box. And in the words of Drake, I got a black box where suggestions go, but I don't really give a fuck. It's probably best you know. It is the greatest match in SummerSlam history. So, yeah, I'm not going to hear any arguments about it. We've talked about it. It's great. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's the best matchup.
Oh, my God.
And
SummerSlam, at least.
Why you're going to come equipped with a manager, because that's literally it. You could pick someone else. I'm done.
All right. Fair enough.
All right.
Eric, what is your favorite SummerSlam match of all time?
My favorite SummerSlam match of all time, 1992 Intercontinental Championship, Bret versus Bulldog.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, what more can we say, man?
Yeah, what more can you say? Yeah.
Joe will say something.
All right, Joe, what you got, man? I want to hear.
That's me too. I'm not going to tarnish the great name of wrestling and say a different match than that. That match is a Macho Man Ricky Steamboat match. That match is an Okada versus Omega 3 match. It's perfect. There is nothing bad.
But it didn't have a man in blue jeans and a Philippians 4:13 white beater, Joe.
That's the nostalgia of it all, baby. That's what I'm saying. Listen, now somebody had it.
I wore a white beater specifically for this show to represent Shawn Michaels in 2002.
I am a Shawn Stan. I'm a Shawn Stan. I'm a grown man, 30 plus years, and I still wear the dangling earring. I don't give a damn. The point of the matter is that match with Bulldog and Wembley with Bret Hart is perfect. There is nothing in that match that is missing. There is nothing in that match that is missing. It is perfect. Everything about that is perfect. Finish was perfect. Start was perfect. The nuances in the match where it's like, oh, Bret's gonna go over. No, he's not. I mean, Bulldog. No, Bulldog's gonna go over. No, he's not. It's back and forth perfection. It is pure science. And the fact that Bret Hart coached his way through that whole match because Davey Boy Smith was on a cocaine bender is even more impressive in the first place. Okay, it's even more impressive. Now, Shawn coming back after 4 years to have a bad back and come back in jeans and t-shirt is impressive.
There you go.
Have you ever tried to do anything on a hangover, baby? Oh man. Oh.
Yes, I have, which is why I don't drink anymore. That's why I quit drinking.
Are you and Mike gonna match too, or are y'all just gonna like break the trend?
Well, for me, my number one is like, of course, it's a Bret match, but it is the beginning of Bret Hart's greatness. I'm going with my favorite SummerSlam match of all time, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 91. His first singles match on pay-per-view, his first major singles championship win. I mean, this is where the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be begins. And listen, seriously, can we not give enough fucking flowers to the late, great Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig? I mean, he purposely came back to do this match with a fucked up back. He should have been wrestling to begin with, but he came back to put Bret over, man. And just, oh my God, the psychology of this, just like this is like Bret Hart's beginning. And for me, I love a good origin story. It's Bret versus Perfect, SummerSlam 91.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Nick Nemeth was literally watching that match just like, this is what I want to be when I grow up. This is it.
He's like, yeah,
cool
dude.
Stuff.
He's just got to get past being a cheerleader and a golf caddy. But anyways,
We're talking about the golf caddy situation. That was some bullshit. We don't talk about
my God.
You just got to remember, if it's not white, it's not right.
that gimmick does not. Yeah, we do not talk about that gimmick.
WWE is in a real place as
well. It's okay. Chavo's doing great for himself. He's doing movies and stuff. Like, go see Iron Claw or watch Glow. He's doing great.
And Glow, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
All right, Mike, take us home, brother.
It's a Bret match. It's Bret Owens, steel cage. Phenomenal. One of the best cage matches ever. And a coked up. And it's a coked up Jim Neidhart. I don't know what it is with the Hart. I don't know what it is with the Hart family and Coke, but they love the powder shower.
Have you seen their dad? I would be too.
They don't listen. They don't like cocaine. They just like the way it smells. That's all it really is.
Look, you have to remember, they're from Canada. They heard the word snow and they're like, we're all for it. Like,
we have hockey. And we have poutine, and we've got cocaine. So here we go.
Yeah.
Between the match, and then you get Jim fighting with the Harts that don't really matter, that's sitting in the stands because nobody cares about Bruce or Isaac or whatever their names are.
God, Bruce Hart. Anytime I think of Bruce Hart, I just think of him as a special guest referee in sunglasses.
Yeah.
So fucking
no. He knocked down Davey Boy Smith and his wife he clotheslined them both.
Yes. While wearing the most incredible pair of like Subas pants. I mean, you can't deny that, man.
He borrowed them from when he was who?
Rewatch the end. He puts on his wristband before he goes to the cage, and he's so like tingly that he can't lock the cage. he still.
I still like. I could just hear him like. You're talking about Mick Foley babbling, Jim Neidhart, coked out of his mind babbling. He's like, "Yes, you did." Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
What I love so much about that match is that it's the. First of all, I miss the old school cage. I love the old school cage.
The old school cage, yes.
Yeah, but I love that, like, during that match, whenever they cut to Jim from the cage, it's just him in a perfect square, just berating the people in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know any better, you would think like he was supposed to be in the match and got locked out. Like, he's so upset about everything that's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Owen Hart lost and said, "Hey, let's get out of here and celebrate my win. I'm still the best Hart." Okay, the level of petty.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then poor Jim's just so coked out of his mind. But you know, it's like the late great Rick James said, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
He was probably hanging out with Sean.
Well said.
Well, somehow we've made it through our list. This was an incredible night here. In closing, real quick, I do want to ask y'all this. What are you most excited for this year with SummerSlam?
Are we going?
It's a pretty solid show.
I think for me, I just want them to get on track. Because I didn't think Money in the Bank was all that good. I just want them to get into a space of getting back on track to actually doing a great pay-per-view. Trips doesn't like long pay-per-views. He hates them. He likes to do the 2 hour, 3 hour pay-per-views. That's what he wants to do. But I just want them to get back on track and do the compelling stories, but give us good wrestling too. Mm-hmm. So the card is fine. I think Damian Priest and Gunther are going to steal the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
For Great American Bash to not outshine SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's my prayer.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's my goal for this week is for Great American Bash to not outshine SummerSlam. Please and thank you. That's all.
Yeah. I don't necessarily have a goal or like an expectation. I do have a want. And if anybody out there in the world that is anywhere associated with WWE is watching or listening or whatever the situation may be, please hear my cry. Give the Intercontinental title to Braun fucking Breaker.
All right.
He's not ready. He's not ready, but that's another episode.
He's not ready. That's another episode. Yeah, he's not ready. That's another episode.
Okay.
Both of y'all.
What about this another La Familia fight? And I kind of want to stay on air for
we could
that.
do
But
that.
chat's gonna be wild.
Yeah, we could do some Steiner math. We can go like another 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should get off the screen and just have La Familia.
Just let them take over. Yeah, I agree. Bro. I agree.
It will be you will literally, this podcast will be 8 hours long. We will go forever.
It'll be learning.
Oh my gosh.
It'll go
and
for
it's dark now.
It'll go for a while.
It's still sunny where I'm at. We're
It
good.
must be so nice.
Well, there you go.
Well,
You got a lot of time left, Mike.
I have to be up for work in 6 hours.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Well, as we wrap up here tonight, we always end our show with one last plug-a-palooza, and I want to give you all your flowers. And thank you so much for being a part of this tonight, man. We had a blast. Chrissy, I'll start with you first. Tell us, all the people, where they can find you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having us on, babies. My name is Chrissy Tina across all social media platforms. Please make sure that you're checking me out on TikTok, X, Instagram, all your social medias. On Saturday nights on TikTok, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is me and my painfully attractive co-host, Pat the Wiseman. We do TikTok NXT Rewinds, where we watch an NXT TakeOver every weekend, and we shoot the shit, and we spend time together, and we have a blast. I have a podcast coming up in a couple of weeks with my other dear friend, Pro Wrestling Wizard Just Doug, Wizards, Witches, and Elbow Drops. It is going to be coming out real soon. I'm very excited about it, where we are going to be covering a different independent wrestler of the week and their career, because wrestling is not just about the main show, it's not just about the big leagues, it is about the small places that get you there, and we want to shine the light on people who aren't getting enough credit now, because we don't want to end up being like Van Gogh, where we only appreciate the art after they're gone. I am part of one of the best factions, social media wise or otherwise, in the world. I am part of the Familia. It is me, it is BC, it is Richie Mars, it is Hot Take Wrestling, it is Pat the Wise Man, it is Pro Wrestling Wizard Just Doug, it is Michaela, 216 Bonnet Bitch, it is Shayna Hill, it is Bianca, and it is my family. It is my family. Today is my uncle's birthday. My uncle recently passed, and I didn't know how I was going to get through today. And being here with you guys, talking about the thing that he got me into, talking about the thing that I love the most, with some of the people who I hold near and dear to my heart. I love y'all forever. Joe, Patrick, y'all know how I feel about y'all. It will never be a question how I feel about y'all. And I'm going to leave it off on this. It's like what Triple H said. Sometimes you got to call for help. Sometimes you call for your friends. Sometimes you call for your family, but you can't always depend on them, but you can always depend on the Familia. I love you guys.
See what you did there.
That's awesome. That was very nice. Pat, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
OG, Mike, thank you for having us on. It has been an absolute pleasure. Actually, just quick callback. I really wanted to give a special shout out to you, OG, because back when I had first started making wrestling content 2 years ago, you gave me a shout out in a video when I had less than 100 followers, and you shouted me out in a video for people to follow me. And so I know we haven't had a ton of interaction since then, but it has always stuck with me. You were one of the larger creators that gave me a shout out. It's actually how I got introduced to MJ. And so I will forever be grateful for you for that. And having me on tonight is a very cathartic moment. And I'm very, very appreciative of that you did for a no name back in the day.
Thanks.
But I am Patrick, aka Pat the Wise Man. You can follow me on TikTok at Pat the Wise Man. As Chrissy stated, me and her do NXT Rewind on Saturdays. We went from the beginning of NXT takeovers and are moving our way into current day. Also on Mondays, I do a Raw watch along with myself and 216 Bonnet Ebby. Also, go to Padre La Familia's Etsy shop, runtheropes.shop. Get yourself some La Familia merch. I have merch. Joe, Chrissy, and all the other members, we have our own merch. You can use the code WiseMan15 for 15% off and free shipping. And we are the Familia. And as I like to say before we sign off, there are terrible things going on in humanity, and sometimes it is hard to hold on to your sanity, but it is always a safe space when you're here with the family. Thank you all so much for having me.
Damn, y'all are poetic, man.
That made me cry.
I know, right? All right.
Yeah. Shit. I ain't got none of that shit. I gotta go right. I'm going to the lab with Drake.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna collab, Joe. We're gonna collab on something.
You said shit going to lab with Drake. You kind of lost
I think all is forgiven now, right, Joe?
No.
Drake holds a grudge.
We're still petty over here at the end of the day.
We can go pretty to petty in one letter.
There you go. One letter. That's all it takes.
Well, Joe, tell us where you can find you, my friend.
Yes. Please follow please follow us on Hot Take Wrestling on all platforms. That's Instagram. That's X. That is also Twitch. Please follow these two beautiful people. That's part of La Familia. Chrissy Tina. Pat the Wise Man, Richie Mars, the Wizard, Michaela the Ring Queen, 216 Bonnet. I'm missing like 2 or 3.
Missing Richie and Bianca.
I said Richie. Oh, Bianca.
Brian.
And what?
BC.
Brian.
BC. BC. He's gonna be so mad. BBL Drizzy. But yeah, do that. Make sure you guys. I got every time you say BC, you gotta say BBL Drizzy. That's the rule.
That's actually a thing.
It's factual. It's factual, guys. Factual. I have nothing poetic to say except take care of yourselves and be good. You guys are the real champions of my life.
We love you.
Always.
Awesome, love you all. I love you guys.
Love you too, man. Derrick, tell us where we can find you, my friend.
All right. First off, I want to give a shout out to you, XLJ. Thank you so much for having me on. MJD, man. Hey, my first time hanging out with you. You rock as always, man. Thank you so much. And La Familia, all three of y'all. Y'all were amazing. You're fire. Want to hang out with y'all again sometime soon, so appreciate it. So, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Devastator_Derrick78. You can find me on X, DVSTR_Derrick78. And you can find me on YouTube on my channel, Derrick's Wrestling Toys and Tees. I got some fire stuff coming up. I'm almost on episode 50 right now. So, pretty cool stuff, man. So, be sure you check it out.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, thank you all so much. And hey, real quick, don't forget you can catch replays of our GCW vlogs here from Louisville and Indianapolis, respectively, as well as you can catch a replay of Pro Wrestling 60. And looking ahead to next week, we got another amazing week coming at you here on Cole TV. Have a brand new episode of Pro Wrestling 60 on Monday, as well as our SummerSlam prediction show will be coming at you next week. And we got a brand new episode of Friday Night Movie Night. And dare I say, it may be the craziest episode of Friday Night Movie Night we've ever done. I'm just going to say 2 words, and you'll just have to tune in. Alien genitalia. Anyways, like, what the fuck?
Oh my God! No.
Yeah, it gets a little off the rails with Best Scout and me, man.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, definitely Best Scout. Definitely. Say no more, man.
If you ever want to have me and Joe on the show for that, we're there.
We got you, bro. We got you in there with B-Roll and Jay. Hell yeah, dude. So.
And XL, Mike, Derrick, let's just say this. Like, we are very particular about who we run with, who we choose to associate ourselves with. You guys are more than you realize. You guys are cousins forever. You guys are linked with us. We love y'all to death. You can definitely sit with us at the cool kids table. We promise.
He's talking about alien genitalia. We're locked in.
You're watching.
Oh, here you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that, man. I love you all too, man. So yeah, thank you guys again so much. And and don't forget also Ruby Ringside and Alex Canyon, catch him at the Gathering next weekend. Speaking of next weekend, SummerSlam is coming up, and PW60 is taking over Cleveland because I'm going to be there along with Mr. B-Roll. Jay's going to be there. Our good friend Sienna. We're all going to be there. And if you see us out and about, come up to us, say hi, man. We love to talk wrestling, man. It's going to be a damn good time. We're going to be going all over Cleveland, and we'll have some amazing content from that in the coming weeks, too. And don't forget the Schmitty is coming on August the 23rd as well. It is going to be the biggest independent show of the year. You're going to want to be there for that. And finally, don't forget to get some of our sweet merch over on Pro Wrestling Tees. Well, once again, thank you all. Thank you, La Familia. Thank you, Derrick the Devastator, man. Can't wait to do it again. I love you all. You all are such amazing people. And I just want to close with this. This community, this Wrestle Talk community, this is what it needs. Like, none of this drama and bullshit. Fuck the clout chasing. Fuck all that shit. This is what it needs. It needs more La Familia. It just needs more of us just being positive, talking about what we love most, which is professional wrestling. That being said, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Learning the Ropes. We hope you all have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Learning the Ropes. Bye.